Alrighty then. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to everyone out there. I hope people aren't dying from smoke inhalation like I am this week out here. But that does not stop the gaming news from flowing and the world a turning. So welcome to another weekly recap of this week's news in gaming. And we didn't have a show last week because it was mostly kind of just Xbox layoffs, and we did a special show on that one. So we kind of decided to take a week off, and now we're back at it again. And joining me is our friend Mr. J Bongo. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
Yes.
Happy to be here. Happy to catch up on all the news I missed.
There's a lot of news, a lot of stuff that broke today, and a lot of stuff just throughout the week. And I want to say really quickly, one of the big news is that Palworld 1.0 is officially kind of launched, and you've been playing that a lot, I see.
Yeah. No, not a ton, but I have been playing it. It's going to be the main one on my channel. As soon as I finish Twilight Princess, it'll be the majority of days until the foreseeable future. So we'll see what happens.
So I got to ask you a question. I've been seeing this a lot on my YouTube shorts and everything else like that, that people keep saying that this is a big Pokemon clone game. And I really don't like when people say that. I want to know your opinion. Do you think it's a Pokemon clone?
No. It is obvious to me that they definitely took some Pokemon and changed their designs, but it is first and foremost a survival game. If you like survival games, you will like Palworld. It's like, I want to say 60%, more than that. It's like majority survival with Pokemon with a dash of Breath of the Wild. That's the best way I can describe it. But I spend more time harvesting stuff to build my fortress up than I do actually doing Pokemon stuff. So it's not a Pokemon clone.
Yeah, that's kind of what I kind of get annoyed with. I'm like, it's not really a Pokemon clone. It has like Pokemon elements with the creature capture and the team, but after that, it's more like a, insert survival game here kind of game,
It's goofy. It's in one of the shorts I made, I just emphasized it's not perfectly designed. Like, you can pick up your pals and the animation is just you lift them up with one hand, and that's no matter how big they are. So it's like you go up behind a huge elephant and you just lift it up and you can chuck it, and the animations are kind of off, and it's quirky. It's like that adds to the charm of it. It's not meant to be taken super seriously, and I think the devs knew where they were leaning into with it. So
yeah,
if you're looking for a serious game, don't play it. But if you want to have fun, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed my time with it from the little bit I played of it. But now that it's in 1.0, I kind of want to go back to it and give it a try. But there's just so many games on my plate. I'm like, when will I ever have time?
Yeah, I know, me too.
We got Oni here checking in, says, like Ark, Monster Hunter, and Pokemon/Digimon with some Breath of the Wild sprinkled in. There you go.
Hey, Eamon. Eamon's a regular on my my channel. Nice to see you, man.
Well, welcome, and I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, Mr. Eamon. So let's get into the news. The first thing was posted, I believe this is from today. Let me check. Yeah, it's from today. And this comes from good old Assassin's Creed over here. And then as we can see right here, we got a big special thanks to everyone out here. Black Flag Resynced has sold 3 million copies. So it just came out last week, so that's pretty good start for this remake out there. This is the first time I'm ever actually playing Black Flag. I never played it back in the day. So I want to ask you, Mr. Bongo, did you ever play Black Flag?
I have never played an Assassin's Creed game. But you'll know I was on vacation. I went to Italy. I went to Florence, and I'm like, I think I need to play Assassin's Creed 2, which means I have to play Assassin's Creed 1. So maybe in the near future, I'll tackle at least the first 3. Make a trilogy out of it. So, but I'm very well aware of Assassin's Creed and a lot of the discussion around it. I just never played it myself.
Yeah. No, I tried playing Assassin's Creed 1, and Altair decides that every time you try to run up a wall, he wants to kill himself. That's what I've learned.
He's a
I have
parkour guy.
yeah, he's parkour and he's like parkour to his death all the time. I so upset when I play Assassin's Creed 1.
Parkour used to be. Remember, there was like a brief time where parkour was like all the rage, and then they threw it in a video game, and it was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, the early 2000s were wild.
Yes, yeah, a simpler
Like,
time.
yes, 90s was everything had to be dark and gritty, and in the 2000s everything had to be cynical.
Yeah,
Parkour, and cynical.
yep.
But I've actually been bought this game. I've been playing a little bit of it. I've been having fun with it. But the problem is, I'm so used to playing the newer Assassin's Creed games, and I put newer ones in quotes there because now they're approaching 10 years old now. A lot of them, and
Wow.
they have ship segments in there, but it's like old, ancient, Roman and Greek galleons. So they have the ability to drop the oars and they start rowing faster. But I keep trying to do that in this, but it's not the same technology. Different era. They didn't have the rowers for these giant galleons that you're in. So, but so far it looks beautiful. Plays great. I'm playing it on PlayStation 5 and the PS5 Pro version to be precise. But so far, I've been running pretty smooth.
Is there like a big graphical update, or is it barely noticeable, or?
No, it's very noticeable. They the studio that made was put in charge of this basically rebuilt the game from a ground up visually.
Oh, nice.
I think they did improve some of the. Like I said, I haven't played it, so I can't confirm or deny this. But from people that I know that are like fans of it, they said that they have done a little tweaks to the gameplay. But I will say this: it does feel like Xbox 360 or PS3 era controls a little bit. I've noticed that a little bit too. Because when I'm playing the older ones like Odyssey and that were built specifically for the one and the PS4, there was a lot more improvement to that than with this one.
Yeah.
So there's a little jankiness that I feel it, but overall, so far so good. Still very early, so I have no real opinions on it. But 3 million copies, pretty good. This is a much needed win for Ubisoft, I would say, especially with all the bad news. So
definitely.
That's just a little update there. So nothing too much else to say there.
It does reinforce the whole thing of people just want remakes and resyncs and remasters these days, and kind of makes me wonder about like, is it just like people our age with getting the nostalgia hit of their childhood? Looks like it's an actually good game in addition to the nostalgia, but I don't know. There just seems to be this is the era of remakes and remasters, and I'm not complaining about it. I've enjoyed my fair share, but it is just interesting for me to just think about why.
We got our buddy here, Mr. McDizzle, also saying he's definitely enjoying it. So what's up, McDizzle? I hope you're doing good up there. I know you're getting hammered with the Canadian smoke because he is in Canada. So I hope you're doing good. But yeah, you do. It's the point I think we've always talked about, right? And I think I brought this up prior on Twitter a while back, where I don't believe these AAA game companies need to invest in anything like AA or indie anymore. And it's just basically put out there. It's just we live in a time now where we have so much quote unquote shovelware, where it's just like everyone seems to be doing it. I feel like the AA market is starting to consolidate around publishers, I should say, like Focus Home Interactive, Embracer, Saber Interactive, all those like big AA publishers that have just sucked up a lot of these smaller companies and have made an art form of going out there and giving them the tools they need to make and just create anything, and I feel like after we saw with the Xbox layoffs and all the data that we're getting from all these reporters and that, it's just very clear that they don't need to waste as much time. There's a couple lone exceptions, like Astrobot was a hit, but I always maintain that Astrobot, is really just a hit more because of the nostalgia aspect to it than, people actually loving the game itself. But it's a good game. I don't take any away from it. But I think, even they lean heavily into the marketing of, oh, look at, you could get like a Kratos little
Yeah.
Astrobot, stuff like that.
Yep.
So it does give it a little help.
Yeah, for sure. It is an aspect. You can't ignore the nostalgia hit. But I mean, I'll give it that it was nice to see a new IP. That I mean, I liked playing Pragmata. I'm today when a completely new intellectual property comes on the scene and it's a great game. I'm like, wow, it's awesome. They took a risk and it was a hit. I'm not exactly sure on what the sales were for Pragmata, but
I think it sold really well. I think I said like 5 million copies from what I remember.
okay, yeah, Capcom. I mean, they're doing work.
Yeah. And also, McDizzle says not playing Mind's Eye, which is free right now. It's something. I didn't know Mind's Eye was free. Is it free on Steam? Because that's what I think I saw you post on Twitter. So that's breaking news right now. If you want to check out probably one of the biggest disasters of a game that came out recently, go check out Mind's Eye.
I heard about this.
Oh, you didn't hear about Mind's Eye? Oh, quick spark
Mind's
notes.
Eye.
So Leslie Bensley, I think that's his name. He founded a company called Build a Rocket Boy, former Grand Theft Auto Take-Two guy, and it's been subject to many, many lawsuits and PR disasters and everything. It's a whole nother story.
Oh man,
So
looks like a AAA title.
Yeah, it basically was given a lot of money and promotion. Like, it was the actually end closer of a PlayStation showcase, I think, last year. And then it just completely turned out to be a giant shit show.
There's the tags on Steam are interesting. Controller, that's a tag. Narrative, capitalism. These tags are getting ridiculous. I don't know what they mean anymore. I have no idea what this game's about.
It's there's some playthroughs out there. I would definitely go check it out.
Nice.
And Nosferatu joined us here. He says, "Has Mr. Bongo played the Playboy Mansion game? Have you played the Playboy Mansion game?"
No.
Yeah, all right. So there's your answer. He has not played the Playboy Mansion game.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, so last week, Angry Canadian and me were doing a show showing off our collections. And Nos was like going on about the Playboy Mansion game. And I just wanted to humor him the one time that I will ever humor him. And I do own the Playboy Mansion game. And it was basically a Sims clone where you play as Hugh Hefner and run your Playboy Mansion. It was a real game. It was one of those weird license games.
There's like 15,000 games being produced a year, and there's a game for everyone now.
Yeah. Oh, they're trying to bank on user-generated content. Oh, that's not going to end well. That's my thought. All right, so we're going to go over to another quick news story. So there you go. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Sold 3 million copies. Good, strong start out there. So we're going to go to another news story here. Why did this not share tab? Did I hit the stupid thing because I'm an idiot? Yeah, I did. All right, here we go. This comes the way of Digital Foundry. Dying Light the Beast canceled the PS4 and Xbox One console 10 months after current gen launch. So this is something I think is actually a good thing to see here. I think it's time for developers to just abandon the PS4 and the Xbox One and try to focus more on modern consoles because I think it's time. And I've not played Dying Light that much, or The Beast for that matter. But I felt like, so people out there who did not know about this news and you're hoping for a console that you own to actually get this to it, sadly, it doesn't look like it'll be happening. How about you, Jay? Have you played the Dying Light series at all?
Nope, I'm aware of it for sure. Watch some play of it here and there over the years, but as you said, I think the interesting point is that this is, canceled for PS4. When was the PS4 made?
2013.
Xbox. Yeah, it's time.
It's time.
I imagine they do all this market research on how many players still have a PS4, how many active PS4s are out there. So they could probably have an idea of like, if we release this for the PS4, what's it going to cost us, and how many potential systems are there out there to play on.
Right.
So I imagine, them making a move like this, it's probably what's best for business,
Yes,
unless there's
indeed.
some other things I'm missing.
And we got Mr. Pop Culture Mechanic saying, "Evening, gentlemen. What's going on in the gaming world?" Well, quite a lot, actually, Mr. Pop Culture. I also liked your video today. I left you a comment. I don't know if you saw it. I hope you laughed at it, though, because I thought it was fun. But there you go. If you wanted to play Dying Light the Beast, well,
Buy it on Steam.
buy it on Steam or your current gen console, because it's out right now. All right, so coming up August 14th to August 16th is the D23 Expo in Anaheim, California. And for people who don't know what that is the Disney Expo where they show all the upcoming stuff at Disney. And we got some fun news about that, too, that Kingdom Hearts will begin a deep dive during that time over here, too. And it says right over here, join us a journey through lights and darkness as we commemorate 25 years of Kingdom Hearts. Discover how the saga united Disney, Pixar, and Square Enix with insights from the creative minds, creative character voices, and much more behind the magic. So, Kingdom Hearts is 25 years old, and that makes me feel incredibly old because I was 10 when this game came out. So,
oh my god!
So time is flying. It's just flying.
There was I played the first one, and then I always meant to pick up the second one, and then they just kept coming out after a while, and I was like, oh man, I got to catch up somehow. Now they're all out though, and I was a little surprised that Nintendo announced the fourth one with not much fanfare. It was just like, here it is.
I think a lot of people have just been waiting for it. It was announced a while ago, and I think more people were just excited to see that it was coming to Switch 2 as well on launch date as everything. Continuing on with that Square Enix strategy of just full on going multi-platform and not trying to cater to exclusives anymore. But overall, I know that they're re-releasing the for PS5 and Switch 2 collection of Kingdom Hearts and Xbox as well. So I already pre-ordered it again because I'm that sucker that holds the roses in the line of men.
I mean, I've bought multiple copies of a lot of Resident Evil games.
Oh yeah.
So I can't, well, like I can buy a new edition of that.
see, I'm the kind of guy that does that, but I also will buy like 3 copies of a game, and then if a friend's like, "Oh, I want to borrow it," I'm like, "Well, here you go. You can have this one," and then you can play it for yourself. I am the consumer, but I'm also the guy that like puts my money where my mouth is and be like, "Here you go, play the game, Nice. Go check it out." It's just like that's what I did with Pragmata. I bought it 3 times for the Switch, the PS5, and the Xbox.
Oh, wow.
And I've already given the Xbox and the Switch copy away to 2 of my buddies for them to play,
Yeah.
So I can't wait to talk more about it. Pragmata, really great game.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
We can talk more about it later, but I could go on that. But yes,
Yeah.
Great game. Everyone should play it.
Yeah, definitely. Kingdom Hearts lost an insane amount of hype due to the confusing story spread across a dozen games, 1 or 2 of which were mobile games. That is very true, but there is a very strong and very dedicated autistic fan group of Kingdom Hearts fans. That is true. Listen, I'm saying this right now. I went to a Square Enix concert back on Mother's Day, and the Kingdom Hearts segment got a lot of people hyped in that crowd. You go to any anime convention, you will still find at least one Sora running around there, or multiple Soras. I will say this: when my wife and I had our honeymoon in Disney, we went to the Not So Scary Halloween party, and there was a few people dressed up as Sora at the Magic Kingdom.
Nice, awesome.
So there is a very, very dedicated Kingdom Hearts fan group out there, and you mix it with Disney and everything else like that too. It's really just it has strong staying power. There's a reason why people keep coming back to it.
Yes, yeah, I totally agree.
It just sucks that Kingdom Hearts 3 took forever and was not good. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I waited forever for that game, and it was just mediocre at best.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how I felt about Metroid Prime 4.
I I get that. Did you watch that? Did I send you that video? Did you watch that by any
I
chance?
did. I did watch it.
Ooh, you gotta tell me about that later.
It
I want to hear your thoughts.
yeah.
And then, what should ask him his favorite feature in Pragmata, the auto hack ability. Let's hear that one real quick.
He's just poking fun at me when you know how there's the auto hack ability.
Yep.
My initial reaction to it, because it's like I feel like people need to remember when I do my takes on things. It's as I experience them without much time to think or see what happens in the future. And I was afraid that the auto hack ability was kind of like easy mode,
Yeah.
where if you didn't like the hacking, which I know some people didn't, and it really turned them off, you could just hit a button and it would auto hack for you. But my fears were very quickly assuaged when I started to use it, and it just quickly drains all your energy, and then you're screwed. So I'm happy with the way that Capcom implemented the auto hack ability. It wasn't like something I just had to ignore throughout the game so that it would be easier. So anyway, that's quiet, Amen. Be gone.
Alrighty, that's all I have to really say about that. Like I said, if you're going to D23 and you want to learn more about Kingdom Hearts or celebrating the 25th anniversary of it, there's your news for it right there. Link is in the description of this video. All right, now we'll go to another Square Enix story real quick here. And that is Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. Switch 2 Western releases will be on October 1st. And I get annoyed when I see this all the time. Square Enix really loves to do this stuff. Improve resolution and frame rate. No upgrade path. No save data transfer between Switch 1 and Switch 2 versions.
Brutal.
It is so deflating because I'm kind of like halfway through Octopath Traveler 1 right now. Great game. Love it. I think if you want that old school Final Fantasy feel or old Squaresoft feel of the 80s and the early 90s, go check these games out. They're very wonderful, beautiful, amazing soundtracks. I can just glaze it as much as I can. But Square Enix has been doing so many of these Switch 2 versions that all do the same thing. No save data, no cheap way to buy an upgrade or anything like that. And it's very annoying to me. Just simply put, these games are like 60 to 100 hours.
Yep.
And they can't come up with any form of just save data transfer or anything for people like me. It seems just like the biggest waste of time. And another thing, too, they're game key cards, the physical versions, and I don't want to buy them just for that very reason. I'm trying to stay away from that stuff as much as possible. And I just look at this as just like the biggest like F you to your fans. Just buy it again, pay pigs.
Yeah, the only reason, again, I'm trying to think what they're thinking practically, and it's like to them that was another step where they were like, we could do this, but people will buy it anyway. That's probably their mentality of like they'll just give us the money anyway, even if it costs them their save data, which I don't know if they're right on that. I gave Octopath Traveler 1 about 10 hours, and I liked the music. I loved the graphics. I love the old RPG feel. But for me, those old school RPGs, what really grabs me is the story. And the disjointed story, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't finish it. I just lost interest.
I can understand that. And also the boss fights are fucking brutal.
Yes.
They are brutal.
Maybe I'll finish it at some point, but I couldn't get through it.
You know what the boss fights reminded me a lot of, and I only have this as a frame of reference because I played it recently. Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster, they all remind me of Chaos, the final boss. And in the Pixel Remaster, I'm like, how much health does he have? So I had to look it up. I guess in the original, he didn't have that much health. But in the new one, he has like 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 health. And I'm just sitting here just like thinking, oh my God, the Octopath Traveler bosses are just chaos, just in many different forms. Like the gameplay is addicting when you gotta fight them, but they're so grindy.
Yes.
And I'm just like, why won't you die? It's that scene from Austin Powers. Why won't you
Yeah.
die?
I mean, I remember that feeling as a kid when you're going into one of these big bosses, and there's no way of seeing their health, and you're like, okay, here we go, and it's going to be a slog, and then you're at that point where you could die at any moment, and you're just praying that this last hit is the one that kills it.
Yeah, because then you have to
That's a great
restart it
feeling,
all
and then you
over
do it.
again.
Yeah, exactly, and then it kills you, and it's like, oh, I gotta try for another hour.
Oh, Persona 3 had one of those boss fights at the very end. Nyx is considered one of the toughest boss fights, specifically in vanilla Persona 3,
Mhm.
because you don't get to choose your attacks. But Nyx has a special ability where every time you defeat her and you take off one health bar, she
Mhm.
respawns and then she changes her attribute.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then some attacks heal, some attacks get reflected, and they kill your party. And oh my goodness, yeah, Nyx was a tough fight. And if you forgot to change out before she changed to the insta kill Arcana, and you just happened to fall into the bad RNG circle, you just got blown out. Oh, it was a terrible fight. But Nyx is considered one of the toughest boss fights in history, next to every boss fight in Octopath Traveler, because that's what it feels like.
Did the second you haven't played the second one? Did the second one, did they like come up with like a joint story, or is it like a
I heard it's more cohesive. I actually been seeing it pop up as on a lot of lists of top RPGs of all time.
yeah. Oh wow.
So Octopath Traveler 2, I guess, gets a lot of praise. I haven't played it yet, but I have it, and I plan to play it once I figure out. It's a tough game. I've been playing Octopath Traveler for 3 months. Okay,
Got it.
so yeah, I can't wait to kind of hear more about that as well. All right. We're going to go over to another fun story. This just popped up a little bit earlier today. Blink 182 and Pac Man are announcing a collaboration at Comic Con.
Wow.
So,
Did not have that on my bingo card for
did,
2026.
did not have that either on my bingo card, but I figured this was a nice little like change of pace stuff here.
So
Where
what is this a what is it? Is it a game with do I play Pac-Man with Blink 182 music? Is that it?
I think it's like a merch thing or anything else like that. So it
Okay.
includes a booth full of co-branded arcade cabinets and a claw machine with Pac-Man, Blink 182 prizes. So that's I guess what it is. It's just merch. It's just Pac-Man / Blink 182 merch that will be sold exclusively at San Diego Comic-Con with some other stuff out there. So if you are going to San Diego Comic-Con or want to go try to get something on a secondary market and you're a big Blink 182 fan and Pac-Man fan, well, here you go. Your dreams finally come true.
The nice crossover.
And Oni says, I think the highest HP enemy I've ever fought in an RPG was a Final Fantasy 12. Is that 12? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Yizmat, who possesses 50 million. Oh, God. I would say so. That's insane. There's a lot of great hard bosses in video games.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's a lot of health.
Yeah.
Not the crossover I thought would happen with Pac-Man. Yeah, I agree with you on there, Pop. I wanted to share that because I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. Speaking of crossovers, this brings me over to our next news topic. And we got Crimson Desert coming in here with an announcement that you will now have cross saves on all your platforms.
Wow, that's nice of them.
So if you play on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, Epic Game Store, and you want to go try to get the Platinum Trophy or all the achievements or the Steam achievements on another platform and you really want to support this game, well, good news. Now you can just bring over your save file from one of your other playthroughs and you could just continue it seamlessly. There you go. That's how you say that. Onto another platform. Now, this has been an interesting game to talk about. Crimson Desert kind of was originally one of the talk of the towns for most anticipated games that come out earlier this year. I know a lot of people really like this game. I know Games Media did not give it overwhelmingly high, scores. It got about average, like around say like 78 average on Metacritic right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily a bad game, but it definitely seems like there was a lot of issues. When you talk to people about Crimson Desert, it seems kind of either they really love it and say it's very innovative and great, and then if you talk to other people, they say it's kind of a little, Korean jank mixed in with a lot of world bloat, but overall it just could
Mm-hmm.
could be better. I know this is made by Pearl Abyss, who made Black Desert, and
Oh yeah,
that's
Black
more
Desert.
that's more of an MMO game. I'm not into MMOs. I tried playing it, still hate MMOs, but that's just me. But have you played this game, Mr. Bongo?
I believe I played a demo for it somewhere, but it came out at a time when I know for me, I was starting up my own streaming and already invested in some other AAA titles and just didn't have the money for it or time, But
Yeah.
it definitely looks like a game that I could get into. It's an 8.5 or even a 7. It's not a bad score for a game, and it's like it looks pretty. I'll give it that.
Yeah. You,
And
you know what? Go on. Sorry,
yeah,
finish your point.
I was just gonna say, like, and a lot of these Korean studios too, they're putting in work to make a dent in getting their foot in the door to the industry and really making a splash.
Yeah, I feel like Korean culture has really just been taking over the world. My wife is obsessed with the K dramas and K-pop.
Oh yes. Uh,
She's obsessed.
I when I was there, back when I was single, I was there as a young bachelor out of college. I would sit down. I'd go to a place called Pizza School Pizza, and I'd get a nice. It was like they put like potato with they put like a potato slice wrapped in bacon with mayonnaise on each slice. It was awesome. And
That
I'd sit
sounds
down
great.
and I'd turn
Actually,
on the
not gonna lie.
TV and watch StarCraft 1 competitions all night.
Oh, that has been like my one of my running jokes for a long time that people did not understand about StarCraft. I'm like, in order to date a Korean girl, you got to beat her dad at StarCraft, and no one got that joke, and I get so mad about that.
It was seriously, I would go to um PC rooms. Like, PC rooms are huge in
Mhm.
Seoul. You go there, you pay $1 an hour to sit down at a high end gaming PC and play all the games that they have there. And um, it's huge. Online gaming is not just big in a popular sense, but in like a competitive sense as well. They've got a lot of. I'd say they were the forerunners of like really bringing competitive gaming to a wider audience, and now it's really picking up here too. So
Yeah, K-pop
yes.
Demon Hunter, fuck the world.
K-pop
Yeah,
Demon Hunters, a lot of jokes in there about Korean culture. Yeah, it's the K dramas, man. I totally get it.
oh, my wife was obsessed with them. I'm like,
Have you watched one called Sky Castle?
I would have to ask her. I I
Ask
I,
her that.
I don't
If she
watch.
hasn't, she should watch it.
I'll text her right now.
Okay.
She's like watching this one right now. I think it's about like a detective who like tries to punish students because his girlfriend slash fiance was a teacher, and then they pranked her too hard, and then she killed herself. Now he's a detective or something.
That sounds like a K drama.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm going to ask her right now. Have you watched? It's Sky Castle, you said?
Sky Castle. It kind of a similar story actually. Uh, it's basically about it made waves in Korea itself because okay, so like for those of you who don't know, K dramas are like drama on steroids. Like these things, there's never a dull moment. It it's drama, 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 and it's super entertaining. But this particular one made waves because it was really focused on how hard it is for students in Asian cultures in general, but specifically Korea. And it really gave a lot of it prompted a lot of discussion within the nation of Korea on like the expectation of students in school, which is insane. Like it's ridiculous. We we could go into that sometime, but yeah, the K dramas. If you want to get a good taste of that, look up Sky Castle.
Oh, my wife just texted me. Let's find out. She said no, she has not watched that one. So
I'll put it on our list. It's good.
put it on her list. All right. So going from the land of Korea to the land of the rising sun, got an update over here on the Duskbloods, FromSoft's next exclusive game coming to Switch 2. Says Duskbloods closed network test will take place at the dates and times shown in the image below, starting on July 22nd, Wednesday. Please register using the official network test website. So over here, you can register right now to go beta test for the upcoming game Duskbloods from August 21st to August 24th at these select times. So if you're curious or interested in playing the newest FromSoft game and the newest Nintendo Switch exclusive, now is your chance to get in and get on early on the action. Mr. Bongo, are you a FromSoft fan, and are you interested in this upcoming Duskblood game?
I am very much interested, and it makes me sad I can't really afford a Switch 2 right now, but hopefully I got some time. There's a lot of games announced for Switch 2 that I really want, so I gotta do something and get it. But yeah, actually my first From Software game was Elden Ring.
Oh,
not because I didn't like Dark Souls, I just never picked it up, but I love Elden Ring. It's an incredible game, and I love the look and feel of Duskbloods. It reminds me of you ever see Van Helsing, the old Hugh Jackman?
Oh, I love that. Did you know that had a video game?
Yes, yeah. I did. I played it back on when it came out for the Xbox.
Oh God, yeah.
This reminds me of that. I think that's why I also like Resident Evil 8 Village, because it's a very similar look and feel to it. You know, fighting werewolves and vampires and whatnot.
Yeah,
yeah. This game looks pretty sweet.
It does look really good. I hate FromSoft games because I
really?
I just have no patience for them. That's my thing.
Well, yeah, I mean that is true. So when I first played Elden Ring, I bought it because of the hype, and I'd never played a From Software game before, and I tried it for a couple hours, and then I put it away for like a month, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and so I forced myself to play it for like 2 hours at a time, because that's all the time that I had, which is why I was so impatient with it to begin with. But once I got into it and I like moved past that initial phase, you know, then I loved it. I fell in love with the lore and the story and everything like that. But yeah, I totally feel you though. I've become way more impatient with games as I've gotten older.
Yeah, especially because I have so many games to go through. It's just like, I don't want to spend time getting good.
Yep.
And that's basically where I'm at.
For me, it's getting good. And when I log into like a new RPG and there's a whole new battle system and a whole new UI interface, it's like overwhelming. And then I have to take time to read everything. And it's like, I could be having fun right now playing Slay the Spire.
There's something else I know I'm good at.
You know? But most of the time, if I force myself to get into it, I get past it and I start to know everything and I know the system, then you know I start to have a lot of fun. But I feel you though. I don't have the patience that I used to.
Alrighty. Speaking of Japan, we got our first big story to kind of cover here. So let me share the tab over here.
Wow. According to a poll, generative AI is being used by a whopping 100% of Japanese online game developers as copyright infringement concerns climb.
Yeah, sorry, my microphone's been messing up a lot this week, so
no problem.
So thank you for reading that headline for me.
Yeah, that is so okay. I do know that I'm not exactly sure how it's different, but I do know that copyright law is slightly different in Japan than it is in the United States, which is why specifically Nintendo was so like guns blazing with copyright, because I think it's according to their laws, it's very easy to have a copyright infringement.
Yeah, Japanese copyright law is just weird, but I don't claim to be an expert on it. I know some of it. And
Mhm.
I heard in some areas it's very loose, and in other areas it's very strict. So I would like to find out more maybe about that at a later date. But I know AC said that from what he has been doing out in Japan, that yeah, a lot of Japanese companies are fully embracing AI.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Every,
definitely not
every
afraid.
company every company is fully embracing AI. If like game industries or not, it's it's here and they're trying to figure out ways to see how it can boost productivity. It's seen as like they know people don't like it, especially in like artistic endeavors,
Mm-hmm.
but to them the potentials of such a productivity boost are just too hard for them to ignore. Um, it's unfortunate, but depending on who you ask, this is a problem of
Yeah.
varying degrees.
And Oni says, when they say online, are they referring to MMO, live service games, or anything that sells digital only? I think it's
Oh, that's a
I
good
think it's
point.
an
Yeah.
actual like thing. Let's read the article and get into it, and we
Mhm.
can find out.
Yeah.
So, a new report on the Japanese online game industry has shown that 100% of polled devs are currently using generative AI. This report, the 2026 edition of Japan's Online Game Association, so JOGA, if you want to look that up, Online Gaming Market Research Reports, digs down into the topic of generative AI used in earnest. In a preview of the full report published by Famitsu, some insight can be gleaned in the adoption of the technology. So going down here as well, says staggering, yeah, okay, most
Mhm.
staggering of that seems weird. It doesn't read right to
Yeah.
me. The most staggering of generative AI finding from this report is that 100% of the polled Japanese developers are utilizing generative AI. Google's Gemini is the most popular entry among generative AI software, with 94% confirming its use. Following it comes Anthropic's Claude at 84%, and Microsoft's GitHub Copilot at 76%. So, what do you have to say about that right there with all these current AI stuff? You know more about computers than me, so I'd like to hear what you're saying.
Well, if GitHub Copilot is any kind of signifier of what they're using the AI for, that tells me they're using it primarily to help them generate code.
Mm.
Um, Now, if they're using, I mean, Claude is also pretty good for coding. So is Google Gemini. So, I mean, the big question, people seem to have more of a problem with AI being used to generate art
Mm-hmm.
than code. So I'd be curious as to see maybe they'll go into it as to exactly what are they using the AI for, because
Yeah.
it might be like less of a big deal or more of a big deal depending on what it is. Because honestly, it's like, before AI came out, if I had a problem with my code, I would have to just scour the internet and scour a website called Stack Overflow or GitHub to see if anybody had a similar error with a similar problem, and then fix it in a similar way. AI just simply expedites your search. That's all it really does. So it's like you find the answer faster.
Yeah.
But now it's actually writing the code too, which it's like it makes them more productive, but it also has its drawbacks. You don't understand your program as well, and that can
Yeah.
cause problems down the line. But yeah, I think that when it comes to this particular issue and this particular headline, I'd like to know what exactly they're using the AI for. If
Yeah.
it's just for code, I think that's less of an issue. If it's for artistic stuff like music and um, art and whatnot, then that might be more something that people care about.
Yeah, exactly. Onan comes in. When it comes to AI, many are willing to accept it when used as dictionary/resource, but not Gen AI, as it uses to produce assets and or concept art.
Yes, exactly. That's right, Eamon. Yep.
All right. This survey found that the task most frequently being tackled, well, here we go, with generative AI assistance was preference analysts. User preference analysts.
User preference analysis. Interesting.
Analysis. And a user behavior prediction. On the flip side of this coin, the report also surveyed game players and found that most prevalent concerns was surrounding copyright infringement.
Yep.
Another popular concern amongst users was games being similar to each other due to generative AI. Well, I hate to tell you this out there, gamers, but there's a lot of games that already are similar without this.
Yeah.
So I don't.
What's the Unreal Engine? Like everything looks the same, made by Unreal Engine.
Yeah, that's what they say. I think it just also comes down to just how creative like the people are. There was a interview for a later topic. I couldn't find that same interview, but Josh Sawyer of Obsidian Entertainment, who worked on Fallout New Vegas and stuff, was talking about the creation engine that Bethesda uses for their Fallout Bethesda, stuff.
Yep.
And he just said like they basically have so many created assets in that game engine already that you could just kind of like work with it so easily, and that's why modders like it a lot too.
Yeah.
So the easier the engine is to work with, and with so many people making pre-made assets and stuff for them, it does make sense that they kind of do come across as similar a lot, because there's just so many shortcuts and tools that people can just plug and play into their games a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of nice that they do have that, because it helps people kind of jump that hurdle of like, I don't know how to 3D model.
It helps. It helps with production of games. That's the one thing I think a lot of people have, been complaining about is like, why does a game like Grand Theft Auto take 10 years to make? Why does a game like God of War take 6 years to make? And we want the games to reuse assets and push them out faster and stuff like that, just to cut down on dev time. Yeah. But then they get crucified by Twitter, like sleuths, I guess you could say, where they always constantly complain about reused animations and assets and stuff. And then it's just like, well, my biggest problem is like we can't have our cake and eat it too, guys.
Yes. Yeah.
We have to make sacrifices to get better games out there faster. We also at the same time shouldn't be too lazy, but it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act.
Well, I recall an interview about like Mario Wonder when it came out, and apparently Nintendo basically told the Mario Wonder team, like, you don't have a deadline, like, make this, as best as you can. And I think I'm looking at it now, it's like it was in development for about 4 years, which isn't too long for a big title like that. But yeah, we want games to come out regularly, but at the same time, if you do that, you end up with what happened with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, right? Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Like, Pokemon games used to come, they came out like every year and a half or something like that, something ridiculous. And as soon as they made that jump from 2D to 3D, all of a sudden things get a lot harder to develop in that amount of time.
Yeah.
So, that's what you get.
When they tried to upgrade the graphical engine on Scarlet and Violet, they definitely had some issues. But I also think a lot of that was also due to the Switch One as well.
Oh, yeah, totally.
There's a lot of good games on the Switch One, but there's also a lot of games that are struggling to run on the Switch One. Because I hear when you go to Switch 2, Scarlet and Violet is a much better running experience without a problem. Yeah. He says, funny enough, some of the best games out there reuse assets from previous titles. Majora's Mask is a great example.
Yeah, that is a great example. It goes to show you that it's not just about the reused assets or reused whatever, reused music or whatever. It's when it comes to video games, gameplay is king. If you design a fun game to play, people will play it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But they're willing to, you'll be much more willing to overlook a game's reused assets or even AI usage if a fun gameplay loop was created. And Majora's Mask is a good example of that.
Exactly. And we got Mr. Nerd Takes joining us. Say, what up, everybody? What up, Jay? I hope you're having a good day out there. I hope you're not dying like we are out here in the Midwest. So to continue on, what this report indicates is a continuation of generative AI adoption in Japan. While online games do not encompass the entire industry, games on both console and PC without multiplayer components are not included, for example. Think Pragmata. However, all right, so that does answer Oni's question right here.
Mhm.
So games on both console and PC without multiplayer components are not included in this survey. Okay. So there you go. I hope that answers your question there,
Yeah.
Oni. However, prior industry surveys, such as the 2025 annual Tokyo Game Show survey, showed that generative AI adoption was on the rise. At that time, 50% of surveyed developers for online games and otherwise confirmed it was in use. So it was already huge back a year ago at the Tokyo Game Show. And I know the Tokyo Game Show is coming up again. So I am curious to see if this number also increases after this year's show ends and they get more developer feedback. Developers like Capcom individually confirmed to us too, saying it had seen a certain degree of effectiveness from generative AI. At the time, it emphasized that the creative components of game development would remain human-led, and Sony likewise shared a similar sentiment in a recent annual investor presentation. It's interesting to compare those comments to this report. So Sony basically said they're going to invest more into AI at their last shareholders meeting. So that's kind of what they're referencing there. If you don't know what that is.
Oh, Sony.
All right, so here we are. Lost my place right here. And the revelation that what AI tools are used and largely generally... sorry, let me reuse that again. And the revelation that what AI tools are used are largely general purpose programming programs like Claude and Gemini, rather than generative AI tools built to create visual and or audio assets. Indeed, the most popular use case in this Joga report related to the data analysts. Japan and other Asian developer hubs like South Korea appear to be largely embracing generative AI as a tool for game development. Meanwhile, Western developers are more reserved about its use, while Epic Games is pushing the use of generative AI tools in its latest UE package. Developers like Ad Hoc Studios have explicitly pushed back against its use. The regional consumers' appetite for AI is surely a factor, with Western gamers pushing back with more ferocity against the technology. Even beloved studios like Larian, basking in the success of Baldur's Gate 3, are not sheltered from community pushback as a pro-generative AI adoption stance. Simply put, unions.
Yep.
That's the best way to say it. That unions don't want you to have. I'm going to be very blunt about it. If your job is useless, they will fight for your useless job just to keep you there. And I want to come in here too about Ad Hoc Studios. I'm going to be honest here. Ad Hoc Studios, you're not like a big dev. All right, your games are not like that intensive right now where they would have to worry about using like insane code and that they're text based adventures, they're point and click adventures. I understand why you don't need to worry about that stuff, but other studios out there, they're making big expansive worlds, big expansive games. Excuse me. A lot of these studios are located in California that have some of the most insane demands of cost of living too.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
It's just very put out there very simply. Like, look at these countries like Japan and Korea. The cost of living in these countries are greatly reduced to somewhere like Los Angeles, California.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
So,
also, people need to understand too. It's you can go to Claude and you can go to some of these like Google Anti-Gravity and say, make me Tetris, and it will make you Tetris, but it'll be like a crappy version of Tetris. We're not at the point yet where you can say, type in, make me a 3D world game, and it'll spit out Breath of the Wild. It's very much you need some heavy hardware and some pretty complex software in order to do stuff like that. So
you're going to look like the first AI video of Will Smith eating spaghetti. All right, that's
yeah,
what your Tetris
exactly.
is going to look like. It's going to look like that version.
Yeah, and like even again in my job right now, we're encouraged to use AI on a daily basis, and we're still at the point where it's like if I make a mistake and a bug happens and in production, I can't say the AI made the mistake. It's like it's still my responsibility as the human developer, and we're still at that point. Like it's not it's not going to fully replace humans yet.
No, it's not. It's not
uh,
perfect yet. No.
yep.
Coming over here, this report comes at a time when increased skepticism around generative AI is rising, not just for gamers, but for investors in Western markets. Only 38% of the affluent investors are comfortable with AI as of February this year, according to market research from Cerule Associates. Sorry. And big tech companies like Uber are pulling back on generative AI use after blowing through its AI budget and I'm fucking up here.
Subsidization. I can barely say it.
Subsidization. There you go. Of tokens have decreased. I don't know why Uber would have to really use AI as much. I guess for customer service.
Nah, they want to use it for I think they want to use
Maps.
it for apps and also for driving. I think they're trying to do the self-driving thing. AI is super expensive. People need to realize this, that AI companies lose millions of dollars a day, and that's part of their business plan. Um, I am on the side of there will be an AI bubble and it will burst, and a lot of people will lose a lot of money, and a few companies will gain gain like that top tier company and be part of like that
It does feel
top
like
tier.
it does feel like that makes sense. I feel like though, um, sorry, I keep getting choking up. It's something I don't know. I do feel like though, like AI is going to be here to stay. I mean, there have been
Yes.
reports that the medical field has been using AI very effectively with helping diagnose people a lot easier with diseases and stuff. So there is going to be a good use for AI. The question is you know, will we treat AI, like we treat nuclear energy out here in the West, or will we find a way to coexist with AI going
Yeah.
forward? I know that John Cermak, founder of id Software and Doom, he's very pro AI
Mm-hmm.
and kind of wants people not to be afraid of it and
Yeah.
give it the nuclear energy treatment and just kind of derail it. I would hold on, let me rephrase that. I don't know if he's super pro AI, but he's saying I think he's just more like don't fear it kind of deal.
Yeah. I mean, there is a where it's at right now. There's a little bit of skill to it. I feel like I've gotten better working with it to get the results that I need for my job. Um, with the medical field too, it's like if you hook up an LLM to a medical database, I think of so a bit of a personal story. My brother, his son was born like almost, I think it was like 4 months preemie. He was a preemie, and he almost didn't survive. They gave him like a 16% chance of survival, and the issue that he had was documented, but never in a preemie. And I remember him telling me it's like they had to really scour doctors, like even around the world, to see if anybody had dealt with that sort of thing. And if you have all that stuff in a database where an LLM can quickly go through it and diagnose and figure out what's happening, that's incredibly useful. But you have to know how to talk to the AI. You have to know how to give it the context it needs. So, it's definitely something that could bring a lot of good to humanity, but at the same time, as many people have pointed out, could bring a lot of harm, much like social media, or anything really.
Yeah. No,
Every technology leap, we have this conversation. I feel.
yeah, it's someone said it. We can predict the bad outcomes, but we can never predict the mitigation for those outcomes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Oni says here, although Star Trek fans hoping AI leads to the creation of the holodeck within our lifetime. Yes, indeed.
In Star Trek, in the holodeck, they could physically interact with the holograms, right?
I think so. I'm not a Star Trek fan. I'm not going to lie to everyone here.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a big Trekkie. I've watched The Next Generation, but
if our friend Mr. Nerdporial was here, he could probably tell us.
He probably looked down on us for not for being less Star Trek inclined.
All right. Speaking of more kind of sad news for some people, maybe not. I don't know. Pokemon Unite officially dropped from 2027 Pokemon World's Championship.
Oh man, really?
Yeah,
It's a fun game.
I've never played. Are you being sarcastic or serious? I don't know here.
I'm serious. It's fun. It's if you like the MOBA, if you like MOBAs and you like Pokemon, you'll like Pokemon Unite. It's a fun game.
Yeah, so the Pokemon Worlds are coming up next month, next month over in San Francisco, California. And as somebody who actually has traveled and played for these Pokemon events, these are amazing events to go to. I'm not gonna lie. If you
Pokemon TCG, is that what you played for? Or?
I was sponsored to play Pokemon TCG. I did travel and participate in tournaments for a long time.
That's awesome.
I always tell people, if you are a family and you want your kid to get into something, best prize support out there is for Pokemon for kids. They help pay for college scholarships.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, I'm getting my kids are in their first steps. When we were in Italy, I bought them their first packs of Pokemon cards. They were in Italian, but they got them.
But yeah, the 100%. Like I always say, like upwards of like 10 grand for the bigger tournaments that people can win, and 5 grand for the smaller ones. That's if you come in first place. But they got some pretty good prize support, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But coming over here says the free-to-play Switch and mobile title Pokemon Unite has received countless updates since its arrival in 2021, but official support for the competitive mobile game isn't looking quite as strong this week based on the latest announcement. In a new update on the game's website, the Pokemon Company has announced it is dropping Unite from Pokemon World's Championship in 2027. It will instead opt for a separate tournament in Tokyo.
Interesting. So that probably says to me it's less popular in the West and more popular in Japan.
Maybe they do kind of rotate where they hold Pokemon Worlds.
Oh, okay.
So they've held. So the recent ones that I can remember off the top of my head: Washington D.C., Hawaii, Boston. I think Chicago was for a bigger tournament. No, Chicago's next year. For 2027, it's going to be in Chicago. I'm going to go to that. San Francisco this year, and then it was in Tokyo, and it was in Kyoto as well. So they kind of rotate around. And another thing too is, for people who don't know about this, if you place high enough at a lot of these Pokemon tournaments, they give you what they call championship points. And if you are a championship point leader by the end of the year, the Pokemon Company pays for your flight and your hotel and your qualification to Pokemon Worlds.
Oh.
They treat you really well. They treat you really well to compete in Pokemon. You know, a lot of people don't know this. I always have to try to bring this up.
It's like you can embark on your own Pokemon journey like Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, basically. So here's a bit of the data here. I'm not going to really go over too much of it. You can read that yourself if you want to check it out. But coming over here, this means the final Pokemon World Championship event for Unite will take place in San Francisco, California in August. Pokemon Unite has been active for 5 years and has been expanded with new playable Pokemon maps, modes, and is also accessible on the Switch 2. We will be looking for any significant updates or developments regarding the future of this game. So
it is honestly a fun game. You don't have to spend a dime on it. You can if you want to. You can spend a lot of dimes. But if you like MOBAs and you like Pokemon and you need like a quick 10-minute match. The matches are like 10 to 15 minutes. It's not like they're timed. It's not like Dota or League of Legends. So it's fun, good game, well balanced. I feel so. Check it out if you want to.
Yes. Now this just popped up on my little timeline today, and this comes from IGN, and it's a story about IGN and Nintendo. So let's give it a listen here real quick. Let me make sure the volume's on here.
It's wild that you just made N64.com.
Yep.
Like, Nintendo wasn't happy about that eventually, right?
Well, they didn't know. So, Nintendo is sort of like, is the straight man, right? Like, they only call the N64 Nintendo 64, all caps TM, right? And so anytime you're writing about it, they're like, no, it's the Nintendo 64. Nobody ever said N64. Then N64, of course, caught on. And so
Didn't occur to them to even register a bunch of domains like companies do now with variations on their name or anything. This was so new to everybody.
And so N64, they just didn't register it, they didn't trademark it, but then obviously they did later. And then they approached Imagine Media and said, "Hey, that's kind of our brand. You should give it back." And so
but they were very gracious.
They were very gracious.
Right?
They were super cool. Yeah, for like a year, the domain linked to IGN64. We renamed the website IGN64 and N64.com their destination.
It's wild that.
So yeah, that's a little story right there.
That's funny. Funny that he said Nintendo was cool with it.
It was a different time.
Yeah,
it was probably more cool about it. But yeah, my microphone keeps cutting out, so I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on here with this thing. I've had so many issues with my computer this week as well. I'm just like, God, stop! No. But yeah, let's go to my next story I have brought up over here. This one comes from the new God of War game that's coming out. La Fey, yes. I kind of want to bring this up a little bit because I know a lot of people have been very much attacking and going insane about it. But it says, God of War La Fey star Deborah Ann Wool, totally unbothered by backlash. So I don't want to bring up, this comes from, I guess, a TikTok video.
This is the person who the character model was based on.
Yeah, this is the actress who plays...
The voice actress, okay.
Yeah. She's also from Daredevil. That's what I know her from.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Wait.
Some of these
let's try again. I don't know.
people are living in their basements.
I mean, genuinely, I thought I was going to be much more affected by it. But one, I don't consume, and I'm like not on social media, so that helps. And two, I don't know, I feel totally unbothered because I just know it's great.
It's great.
I just know it's great. Like, it's okay if it's like not your cup of tea, but like in no universe is it bad.
No, and
like,
I thought they just hate to see a woman win.
No,
and a bad bitch too.
I know.
Yeah, so besides all that nonsense from the person trying to
she wanted that.
She wanted to just bait her and everything else. I want to say she handled that pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. But man, that final comment at the end.
Yeah,
she was really trying to get her to say something about it.
She was trying to get her to like go after attack all these incels and trolls and stuff.
Yeah,
and I hate that stuff. I mean, like we're seeing that online right now with like the new ones, the Odyssey and stuff like that. What's going on with that? But this is kind of like this is how you know like somebody's good at PR. It's like, look, I'm unbothered by it. It's not your cup of tea, whatever, and you believe in the product. She's like, it's going to be good. It's going to be fun,
Yeah.
And the person in question, like, you haven't played the game. You don't know if it's good or not. Stop glazing. But this is what a lot of people who work on the game, of course, they're going to say it's great. Of course, they're going to say it's fun.
Yep.
Like,
and they should.
They should. They should.
They're invested in it, and they're employees of a company. So it's like, they can't do. Like they can't do what Mark Hamill did after Force Awakens and being like, saying that he totally disagreed with Rian Johnson's view of Luke Skywalker. It's that was a whole nother issue. But yeah, I thought she handled that well. I think I fully agree with what you said about the new God of War. Like, if it's a good game, people will play it. If it plays well and if it has good gameplay, has a decent story, I think it could still do well. Oh,
you saw the movie, Jay? I'm curious about that.
Because I heard it was good. I did.
I've heard it was good too. I will say this. I just get annoyed with the people who obviously haven't seen the movie making opinions about it. Mm-hmm. I wish that if the people who are defending it would just come out and tell me why it's good, and the people who say it's bad would tell me why it's bad beyond, here's a 5-second Twitter clip that I got from some Indian kid who was bootlegging it on the internet. I mean, I just wish I wish people would get back to that type of critique.
It's one of those things where you can separate, like, judge a piece of art for its own sake, but it's extremely difficult, especially in the build up to the release of a piece of art, to kind of disassociate it from its current cultural context.
Yeah.
And there's some choices that Nolan made that definitely reflect more, I don't mean this as a pejorative, but a more modern audience. I'm not saying that as a mean thing, but I'm just saying, some choices that he made. But from what I've heard, even in the story itself, he takes certain liberties with the Odyssey to make it work. It's not like out of the blue stuff like a few reviews that I've watched. It's not just like insert person because of DEI.
Right.
There's an actual effort being taken to make it work with the story and the narrative.
First off, this is like the worst
I do
design
not want
popcorn bucket. I'm not gonna lie. I saw this post. This is the popcorn bucket for the Odyssey. I had to bring this up because like this has been making me laugh all day. It's like why did they put the popcorn where the horse cock is and you gotta grab it there? All right, this is like Andy Samberg dick in the box like level of marketing right here. I just had to point this out because this has been making me laugh all day. I showed it to my coworker and they were just laughing.
Why? Who designs these? How big is that? You
I
can't
don't
fit
know.
much popcorn. It's got to be at least to fit enough popcorn. It's got to be like what?
I don't
Is
know.
that real? That can't be real.
This is real. This is officially from the website. You know what I mean? This you can buy this one right now. There's a couple like an IMAX popcorn bucket. Like this one looks nice and fun. And then you got this one here that looks like the old high school prank that you play on your friends. I'll say this: I collect popcorn buckets. My wife and I, when we go to Disney, that's the only thing I really buy for myself is if they have a cool popcorn bucket. And I see the movie theater has been kind of catching up on it, but I'm just like, this is no one really thought this one through, did they? Or they were just really high, and they like, I can't believe this one got past.
I mean, I could totally understand it if that's your thing to collect. That I would probably do it too if I liked collecting like popcorn buckets.
And then we got some more comments over here too. Nerd Take says he's writing a review for it. I can't wait to hear that review of it, especially from you, Jay.
I just subscribe to your channel, Nerd Takes, so I'll be looking forward to it.
And then Oni over here says this reminds me of the comments about toxic positivity pointed out about the AAA gaming industry. Toxic nostalgia, toxic negativity, toxic positivity. Anytime you overcorrect and try to defend something just because like it makes the quote unquote worst people mad or the right people mad, it's just I hate that shit.
Well, I will say toxic positivity is a real thing that you do find in a lot of if you like look up videos on like corporate culture. It is a definitely a real thing that gets discussed from time to time, especially when you go to like human resources talks. Like there's specific ways that they want you to bring up how to like disagree with a teammate or what this like specific way is to do that. Because corporations do realize that if nobody is willing to say, hey, that's a bad idea, that is a problem. So toxic positivity is definitely a real thing, but also toxic negativity is like the flip side of it, where everybody's so afraid to bring forth an idea that it's usually all controlled by just one person. So like everything, there's a balance,
Yeah, I will. First, I want to say hi to Mr. Shaka Zulu with his opinion. Honestly, looks like shit. Fair. That's what you can say. But it's good to see you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. I read all your comments here about it, Jay, about the Odyssey, but I don't want to spend too much more time on it because this is a video game show. But go subscribe to Nerd Takes if you haven't. Get his thoughts when it's finally said and done. Really great guy, salt to the earth, and he was on our show last week. Both of them were actually. For our top 5 video game mascots. If you want to check out me nuking my stream like a retard.
If this was the early 2000s, we would get a video game of the Odyssey. That would happen.
Oh, that'd probably be better. I'm not going to lie. But I lost my train of thought now. Awkward turtle. Derailed. Reminds me of the foreskin bucket.
That's a
movie. Yes,
what derailed me.
that. I don't want to pull a popcorn bucket, so we can't do it. I got to stay a little bit focused here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more stories to kind of go through. So we'll kind of go to this next one over here as well. Last week, Black Ops 1 and 2 were released for the PlayStation 5. And we got some sales data figures for that. According to Mythic Ryan, the Black Ops 1 and 2 ports are well received since their PS5 release. Black Ops 1 has sold almost 2 million copies, and Black Ops 2 has almost sold 5.25 million active players. So they might have sold more, but this is the active players that's gone up.
That is pretty crazy.
So we got this video here from Spawnwave with Mystic Ryan. It's about 1:18. So
Spawnwave, yeah.
Let's hear from the horse's mouth, as they would say. I guess we're going with horse puns right now.
But the PS5 Welcome Hub widget still. That does show how often people are playing these games on a weekly basis in the US. Black Ops 7 was not on there for the top 10. I don't know why. That has to be wrong because I know there's some games on there that should be on there. But Black Ops 1 and 2 is on there, and I'm going to get the numbers for you real quick. So Black Ops 2 is at number 2 with 5.25 million players this week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, number 1 was Fortnite at 16 million players. Number 2 is Black Ops 2 at 5.2 million. And again, already this is weird because Roblox should be 1 or 2. Like for some reason.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know why. Like Roblox for whatever reason is not in here. And then Black Ops. Okay, number 3 was GTA 5 with. How is this number 3? It's got 7 million players. The widget doesn't make sense. But number 4 is Minecraft at 6 million. Number 5 is Marvel Rivals at 2 million. Number 6 was Call of Duty Black Ops at 1.9 million players.
Wow.
I don't know if it's beating Black Ops 7, but I mean, undeniably, these games sold pretty well.
Yeah, so there you have it. Currently, right now, both Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 are, I think they're only $20 each on PlayStation 5. So if you want to go check those out and add to your collection, definitely would say go check them out. I've never played Black Ops 2. I think Black Ops was the last time I really got into a Call of Duty game. How about you, Jay? Did you ever play these games?
No, I played Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor 2, I think.
Medal of Honor, Rising Sun, great game. Everyone should play.
Yes, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm not against FPS games. I just never got into them. But that's pretty crazy. I mean, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Call of Duty is a hell of an IP. Let's just be honest.
Yes, it is. Even as he just mentioned how everybody was supposed to be mad at Sony for the physical.
Yeah. We'll get to him in a second here, but been thinking about getting these games, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for COD lately. Well, like I said there, if you have $20, you just want to grab one and just play the single player, you can check that out there, Mr. J. And also, Oni says, that's a lot of Black Ops sales. I thought everyone was supposed to be mad and boycotting Sony due to the physical removal announcement. To be honest with you, like the sales data, we talked about this before. Yep. The sales data is out there. You know, even if physical sales are like 12% or something.
Yeah.
You know,
they would not have done that if they didn't know for sure that this was going to turn a profit.
Yeah.
Like if the market data showed that physical games, and I say this as someone who loves physical like media and wants it to survive, but they wouldn't have announced it if they weren't 100% sure that like this is just the direction that's going.
It's just been out there so much. I think even Capcom's latest sales figures showed that 94% of their video games were digital.
Yep.
It's the future. It sucks. And like you said, you're a big fan of physical media. If you know anything about me, I'm a huge game collector. You could go on my channel and see so many unboxing videos. My Halo Collector's Edition is coming tomorrow. You know, I can't wait to do an unboxing for that. But the truth be told, it's just like, it just sucks, you know. But at the end of the day, we all buy digital only games. You're playing Pal World, that has no physical.
Yep.
I have Pal World, that has no physical. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the truth of the matter is that there's just always a lot of these games. I've said it before, and I stand on this, that I do think the future of the physical game collecting market is going to be companies making boutique retro kind of like video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I could see a lot more licensing deals to get reprints because the retro market, like, because on the same day, remember, the Sony announced they're closing the PS3 store and the Vita store. And they single-handedly fucked up the futures and the past market, which is a power move, and you have to respect it. You know, that's just you got to do it. You just got to do it. You know.
Well, I mean, when Nintendo closed the eShop for the 3DS and the Wii U, I mean, they pretty much just abandoned it. And the modders have really, they've done a lot of work to make sure everyone can preserve their entire library. So if that's your thing and you don't know about it, hop on Discord and I'll tell you more about it. But yeah.
Medal of Honor Frontline was a great game. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I imagine the same thing's gonna happen with the PS3 store and everything else. Like once these big companies abandon it, you know, modders just have a field day.
There's a reason why they tell you not to update your Nintendo 3DS and why 3DSs are so expensive.
Exactly.
I agree with this take. They already calculated the risk versus reward. They wouldn't have done it without feeling confident in their numbers. Wasn't the data misrepresented? They didn't compare physical games to digital games. They just looked at the digital sales overall, even if the games didn't have a physical release. It doesn't matter about that point because those games, even if they don't have a physical release, it has data for them to buy. And on top of that, too, even in the Capcom database, they count key cards as digital sales as well. So if you're anti-key card, just going to throw that out there, Capcom is counting that as a digital sale. So technically right there, that's making your argument that key cards aren't good as well. Just to throw that out there. So if you don't want to help destroy physical media, don't buy key cards, according to Capcom. Part of the problem is we all feel like this is a battle we just lost when really we lost it a while ago. The reality of that loss is that it's just starting now. Yeah, that's true. Well, PC players were like the first canary in the coal mine. Yeah. And with more people going to PC, that's not helping either.
Yeah. I mean, I know for me, I started buying more digital media when I was overseas because it was just more convenient. I was moving a lot. And it's just like I can't lug a huge library of stuff with me everywhere I go.
Well, that's a really good point I try to bring up to people is that you got to remember, you know, if you live in the boonies or in the suburbs, it's not going to be the same as where a majority of a lot of populations live in your state, cities. Yeah. Cities are very small. You don't have a lot of space for a giant physical collection. In fact, one of the big reasons why the original Xbox did not do as well in Japan was because the original hardware was huge. A lot of Japanese people don't have huge living areas in Japan. So it is one of the big downsides for them to have a giant bulky console take up a lot of space. You know, that's why the GameCube is built the way it is, and that's why the PlayStation 2 was built the way it was, is because they are conducive to smaller environments. And you know,
I love that Nintendo put a handle on it.
Yes, the GameCube is the best weapon. You can beat someone to death and go play Smash Brothers after. After you smash a bro, you can smash bros. There you go. That said, the manufacturing plants Sony had making all their physical assets are now in the process to make lenses for data centers, especially. Essentially, it may have had nothing to do with the sales at all. Yes and no. We've seen some commercial data memory storage people. I can't remember the one right now off the top of my head. They used to make commercial memory, and then they switched to just making memory and stuff for AI companies, and they just locked in a 5-year deal with people for memory production. So it could be that, but also it's just very simply put, Sony owns the rights to Blu-rays. You know?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, it's a Sony Blu-ray. You know, why do you think the
yeah.
Blu-ray player? You know, a lot of people forget that. You know, we just kind of so if they basically are saying it ain't worth it and they don't care and it doesn't cost that much money to make it, you know, generally speaking, it doesn't shock me. But like I said, we've seen physical media just leave stores. You know, I have a short on there that was taken, I want to say late last year. I can't remember on my YouTube. Sorry, where our local chain Meijer over here just basically has nothing. UK stores are getting rid of their physical sections. You go to like Target, Walmart, Xbox doesn't exist. The PlayStation segment is like bare minimum at this point. Nintendo's the only one that's kind of keeping it alive.
Yep.
And you know, it's just the reality of it. And the Japanese don't like it either. They've been against it. But at the same time, it just feels like there's so many people who have like a Sony bias too, where I think a lot of them just kind of give up after a while. You know, we got to remember, Twitter isn't real life. No matter how much we want to think it is, it's not real life. You know, my brother, my stepbrother, I saw him for 4th of July. He said, "Hey man, you go get the new GTA." And I'm like, "No, I'm kind of not really feeling it. I haven't really played 5." And he's 10 years older than me. And he's like, "Yeah, I already pre-ordered it. I got it downloaded on my PlayStation and everything." So it's like I said, it's just some people, you know, they have different priorities. I didn't pull up this data, but I was listening to ACG's podcast earlier today. If you want to go check that out, he was talking about game sales, and GTA 6 has already made $180 million off of pre-orders just out there, just to throw it out there for people.
I mean, it better. It's like what we were saying earlier. It's they've been taking forever with it.
So they need to make at least 10 times more to make their money back from the alleged $1 billion budget.
Yep. Well, you know, they got a program that I remember when we got our like first glimpse of the trailer, and people were pointing out how like in the in the trailer, the soft drink he has at the table has like bubbles coming up from it, and people were like, "This is why it's taking so long." But it's also why it'll probably be really good. They're spending that much time, attention to detail, you know.
Yeah. I think it's more they knew they'll make more money doing digital, risk worth the reward. It's true. They will make more profit off of just doing digital only. I just also think that a lot of people, I think some of you might agree with me, we haven't been seeing as great of sales off of video games. A lot of game companies aren't doing like the $20 deal or anything like they used to. You know, we don't see the greatest hits. We don't really see too much game day. This is my biggest gripe with games media as of late. They're not doing as much deep diving into informing people about how games have sold, how much their budgets have been, and everything else like that. I feel like that's my biggest gripe with games media. And
I
go
think
on.
part of that is they want to hide it, because you know, with not to bring up this whole culture war stuff, but you know, people on both sides of things, whenever a game kind of pokes the bear with that culture war stuff, you've got a certain segment of people who want a game to fail, and a certain segment of people who don't want it to fail, and then they switch depending on the game, and creating a fog of war on how much games cost and what exactly, like how it was built and how much money it made. Like, I think that kind of shields the developers, shields the studios from any further criticism.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. There does feel like there's obfuscation. As like I said before, I almost gagged listening to Jason Schreier go like, "Oh, they're being these developers are being punished for following orders." I'm like, no, they're being punished because their games failed. Just be honest about that. You know, I understand people want to be like pro dev and be buddy, but you know, look, I'm a sports fan, and if your team loses, they fucking just lose. Those guys are getting paid millions of dollars to lose. You know, at the end of the day, it's fine. You lose. Everyone who's played a video game knows you fucking lose sometimes. Just
and again, like it's a when it comes to something like, let's say, Metroid Prime 4, like all of the bad decisions of that game were Tanabe's fault.
Mhm.
You know, you can't really blame the individual devs because how much control did they actually have? If it's a much more complex ecosystem when developing any type of game, you know, unless you're like a solo dev or only have a few people on your team.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks that the devs are the first ones to be let go because they're the lowest on the totem pole. But that's just the way, that's how it is in every industry. You know, it's like if my company does bad, has a bad quarter, I get quote unquote punished for it by getting let go. And that's just the way it is. It's not, nobody's saying it's my fault, but it's business.
Yeah, business sucks. That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's ruthless
Look,
business.
and I say this all the time. All the studios that Microsoft let go, laid off of, and everything, I've bought all those games. I like Doom: The Dark Ages. I think a lot of people hated on it for outside reasons, but I thought it was still a great game. I hear the DLC is great. I got it downloaded. I'll check it out. I liked South of Midnight. The game had flaws, but I hope it gets a second chance. I liked Keeper. I liked Grounded. I did not really get into Avowed. You know, that's me. I bought Outer Worlds. I haven't played Outer Worlds, but everyone that I know, like our friend Tyler, he said it's a great game. It just didn't sell well. And, you know, I love Hellblade. Hellblade was my favorite, you know, new IP of last gen. I loved Hellblade 2. It came out on my birthday, May 22nd. But at the end of the day, look, the reality is, Hi-Fi Rush, another great example. Loved Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, yeah.
But even when these games went to PlayStation, no one bought them. You could go check the trophy and the achievement list. Nobody got super deep into these games. It's sad.
Yeah.
These are great games, and I can't tell, you know, if people will like them or not. You never know. It's tough.
Well, it's tough, and there is, I don't know if it's luck or anything, but when I was talking about Pal World on my stream, Pal World had like the perfect storm in a good way of controversy and exposure, and just quality gameplay. It was so perfect for them to kind of swoop in and be like, hey, we made a fun game and we're getting a lot of exposure due to the controversy, so people are checking it out, and then it's like a feedback loop. More exposure to controversy, people play it, quality gameplay, and then just boom boom, and it snowballs, and like that's it. Whereas, you know, as much, I've never played Hi-Fi Rush. Everyone says it's a great game, but you know, it didn't. It's a rough market. There's thousands and thousands of games being produced every year, and people just don't have the time. Time is being.
It's hard. It's always hard. Yeah.
You're competing with Netflix, Amazon, all the shows, all the books, all the podcasts, everything, and it's hard to break into. You really got to make a splash somewhere. You almost have to rage bait a bit to get some exposure so that people check out your game. And as much as I don't endorse that, don't do that. But worked for Pal World.
Speaking of a game that kind of got a lot of hate from the Matt Black studio. Hi, welcome. Mixtape would say otherwise. I want you to expand on that if you're still here, Matt Black, to kind of expand more on that, because you know, Mixtape kind of came and went. Like, a lot of people really liked it. I was playing it with my wife. We enjoyed it from the pure nostalgia vibes of it, and it was funny and well written. But it was more of one of those kind of like, I would say, like point and click adventure type of games. You know what I mean? But overall, like, I know Mr. Nerd Takes really liked it. But there's a couple chats coming up here I want to kind of recatch up on a little bit. It says here, what do you think of the seemingly $10 million budget on Expedition 33 versus its profit? To be honest with you, Expedition 33 got a lot of help in the gaming industry too. It was shown off at an Xbox showcase, and like, I want to say middle through it, Microsoft did give it its own slice in a developer direct as well to show it off. It's made by devs who are former Ubisoft devs, so they really used a lot of their connections in the industry. I know some people really harp on like the conspiracy theories about it as an industry plant, but I think just a lot of people liked it. They used their connections very well, and they made a very solid, really good video game. I know a lot of people have issues with the ending per se, but generally speaking, it's done great. I bought the game a lot, and that's really what there is to say about that.
Sorry, Matt the Black said mixtape would say otherwise. Was that just like in relation to like the controversy?
That's what I want. If he's still here, I wish he would just kind of explain that more, because I want to know what he's saying that into of. Because remember, we're on a little delay, so I need to.
Yeah, that's true. Also, this is the Lucid developer, right? Matt the Black. You know Lucid? Have you checked out? Do you like Metroidvanias?
No, I've not. Explain this to me. I'm confused.
Oh, Matt the Black. They're the Lucid dev, right? I'm looking at your. You're the same handle on X, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, he was making a game, a Metroidvania called Lucid. Definitely go check it out. Yeah, check it out. It's incredible. Best demo I've played in a while. He's been working on it. It's awesome. If you like Metroidvanias, definitely go play his demo. You'll love it. He's done some interviews too. On his own game design philosophy.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, actually. So I have to go look into that after show. If he's still here, please.
Mixtape in regards to you can lose. Oh, okay. I get it. Yes, there it is. Yeah.
Oh, well, cool. Well, welcome by. I'm going to have to check you out then on Twitter, because I didn't know that. Welcome.
Still waiting on that release date, man. When's the release date? When can we play the full Lucid experience? Is what I want to know. But maybe for another episode.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to hit you up on that. I'm sorry, I'm getting so derailed. Everyone's kind of chatting all at once here. I'm trying to keep up with everyone.
It's a good problem to have. We
got Mr. Nerdy Neo joining us here. I played the Lucid demo, really liked it, and looking forward to the full game. Oh, cool. I'm going to have to check this out. Going to have to check this out. All right, so holy Christ here. All right, let me get to this one, and then we got to move on to. I'll read a few more, and then we got to get back on here. Played Hi-Fi Rush, had mad sale. I played Hi-Fi Rush, had mad sales, did amazing, but it was also part of Xbox Live Service. It did not sell well. It had 3 million people who played it on Game Pass. I want to correct that record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game Pass has not done well. I understand.
Game Pass. So they say that it doesn't, but Game Pass actually has been funding a lot of Microsoft's things, that and Minecraft.
Uh-huh.
Like it was the only thing that's been profitable. I guess you could say that's the correct way.
It is the future. I think that's the way it's gonna be.
It's an option, but yeah, just to point it out there, 3 million people played it on Game Pass. It did not have any concrete data, but the only data set that I remember was when it came to PlayStation. It was like the 150th most played game when it bought game when it came out on PlayStation. So that means it sold like dog shit. I'm just gonna be 100% there. And then people make the mistake calling Expedition 33 a KCD as indie studios. They got large donations to help them. They still technically are indie.
Yeah.
They still technically are indie studios. It's just they're better funded and more well-connected indie studios.
Yep. And it's an original IP in a sea of non-original IP, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
it's on my list. It's on my short list of games to play.
Yeah, no. There's no reason to apologize. I'm not aware of all this stuff. I'm informed, but I don't know everything about the gaming stuff. This is why you have people on. You learn about
just accept the praise.
But yeah, look, if you ever want to come and talk video games with me, I would love to just talk to you as well, because I want to talk to people who make video games, because there's so much stuff that me, a layman Luddite, can honestly tell you. So I would just, if you ever want, just hit me up on Twitter.
That'd be a good name for a podcast, the Layman Luddites,
or a punk band.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush had just under 1 million units sold on Steam, generating nearly 6 million in revenue during its first month on other platforms. That's what I mean. It didn't sell that well, and it probably didn't have that big of a budget. It was it's spin-off game and everything else. I know I just bought my physical copy for it for Xbox, and I got 2 collector's editions coming for it. But it is what it is. I don't know. That's an interesting debate. Next time we can sit down, Chuck, we can have you on, and we could cover all that stuff. And we can embrace debate. That could be a legacy loading episode.
We need a good panel to everybody yelling at each other.
Drama
going.
I'm tired of drama. Damn it! I'm always attacked to it. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's get to something else here. I'm having problems keeping up here. Consider it done, man. Also been bothering Bongo for talk as well. Yeah,
I know. Man. I haven't breached into the interview sphere yet. I got to work up the courage.
Trust me, it's very easy. You gotta go with it.
Okay.
I could talk to anyone. If you ever need advice, I'll just drag you to glory. But yeah, just let me know about that later, and we can talk about that as well.
Nice.
All right, let's get back to our news stories here. Because like I said, we got pretty much everything is going to be talking about today's news after this. But this came across my feed earlier. GameStop CEO says video game softwares make up less than 12% of the business. So,
that makes sense. You go in there and it's like a paraphernalia, everything tangential to video games.
So I actually have.
I think you cut out a bit. Carl, did we lose you?
Yeah, my microphone keeps resetting. That's all.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, like I said, for some reason it's like OBS was having this issue where my OBS kept freezing and resetting and stuff. I don't know. I literally have to unplug my PC from the wall just to make my microphone work. But luckily, it hasn't been that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's read here. Despite a $56 billion offer being rejected, GameStop still intends to purchase online marketplace eBay. If you're curious to know how exactly video games slot into the overall business plan of this combined entity, it apparently not a concern for the company CEO, Ryan Cohen. Speaking of Bloomberg Tech at GameStop's hope of creating a $1 trillion business, Cohen noted how video game softwares mattered in the past, but is now less than 12% of the business, and plans for eBay are much more ambitious. His full exchange is right here down below, so we'll read it. Bloomberg Tech, the situation is collectibles are clearly a central part of the plan right now. If this deal goes through, the combined entity on gaming, it sounds like you are preparing for a world where gaming is diskless. There will be a trade-in, secondhand trade-in, but this is an umbrella point, right? Like if the hardware makes Sony, Xbox are like the hardware makers, Sony, Xbox are reportedly moving to diskless on the console side. Future game launches are digital only. Where does this fit into your business plan in the combined entity? And Cohen says it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Software, it matters in the past. Software today makes up less than 12% of the business, and collectibles make up over half the business. So it's totally and to go back over there with another point here too. I believe eBay owns a lot of like these grading companies for cards and stuff like that too.
Yeah, they do.
So with Pokemon being like as hot as it is right now, and GameStop basically charging, double retail price MSRP for Pokemon stuff. Because let me tell you something. When I was out in Hawaii, they were giving away like a special promo card at GameStop, and the line in this mall in Hawaii was like out the fucking door. Like, so I see what he's trying to do. It does feel like he says here, 12% of video game sales do come from GameStop. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is. That's how terribly low the the game industry is or at least GameStop wise is.
Well, it's like what happened with Barnes and Noble. Like they still sell a ton of books, but they also sell a ton of other stuff too, games, toys. They're just responding to the market. Did they have sorry, my clock's going off.
That's fine. But yeah, as stated, collectibles now make up over half of the business for GameStop, with the company reportedly making record-breaking profits for the first quarter of the fiscal year thanks to Pokemon TCG and action figures. I can confirm every GameStop I go to is loaded with people buying Pokemon cards. It's fucking insane, even at those scalper prices. Cohen signed off the same interview, claiming GameStop was coming for eBay one way or another, but declined to comment on whether or not he would raise the price of his offer. Again, this follows Sony's news is any disc-based physical media released by 2028, which has led to all sorts of discourse about console market and the future.
Makes sense. Remember, growing up, did you have a Funko Land?
So I want to say no.
There were two game stores in my town. One was Electronics Boutique, which became EB Games, which I think eventually became GameStop, and then another one was Funko Land, which functioned like a modern, like it was like basically a thrift store for video games. It was the first like attempt to be like you could go sell your games there, and then you could go pick up games. And this is before everybody wanted games now, so you could get them for dirt cheap. I bought Mega Man X3 for $20. You know, now. How much would it cost me to get Mega Man X3?
That's like a $200 game. I think we were looking that up the other day because I think Neo brought that up like when we did our Mega Man's show.
SNES. Let me see here. Maybe it's not. Oh yeah, $300.
Yeah, like I said, it's fucking expensive.
Yep, Mega Man X2. Yeah,
that's super expensive. Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh man, I have some of these games.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I could get my Switch 2.
But I've been saying though, for me personally, like I've been going to GameStops because I had like a little bias of GameStops, and then my buddy who I do retro collecting with, he's like, "Oh man, you gotta stop by GameStop. They've actually been getting some hits with the retro market." And I was in there the other week, and I spent like $70 on some retro games, and I got Digimon World for the DS, and it was $40. And then when I got home, I was like looking up prices so I can add it to my little chart. It's like almost a $200 game. I'm like, what the hell? Why is this game so expensive?
You made out like a bandit.
Yeah. So I was I gotta say, GameStop. If you're a retro hunter, I would say go check them every now and then. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I'm looking here. It's like the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, $20 a game. One of the best SNES games, like game trilogies out there. But then some games are just like super rare for some reason. It's weird.
We got Black Met Studios saying that was the first place I was introduced to trading in games.
I have a ton of regret over how many games I traded in to GameStop.
I think everyone does because we were all stupid kids, you know. I used to know a kid that would just buy a game, beat it as fast as he could, and take it to GameStop to get the max value he could. Did you ever know someone like that?
No, but if you beat it fast enough, you can do that
because he gets the credit to save money on the next new game he wants, and so on and so forth. You know, GameStop getting annoying Predator for their membership also contribute to digital gaming. That is true. I worked at GameStop for a holiday. My crew was cool, and then they got fired and closed down. Now I hate GameStop. All right,
$250.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Dang.
You know, there's a game I really want to get. Like I have a bunch of games on my Grail list or like my need to get list, but there's like the one game I really want to get is Resident Evil for the Sega Saturn.
Oh man,
yeah. I've seen it like once in a while, and I didn't have the money because it was like $150. But I was like, I wish I had that.
My brother-in-law has a Sega Saturn with a ton of games just sitting in a box in his basement. I'm like, just gotta set that up and play it.
Let's go beat him up and take his games. That's what I do.
So break into his house and steal them.
You're not using them. It's not theft.
Maybe I'll just borrow them
and forget to give them back. You know,
if I got my hands on that kind of collection, I would totally just be like, all right, I'm streaming Sega Saturn games until all of them are done. Like,
yeah, that's the plan. I was going to stream a game this Wednesday, and then my OBS, after I did a test stream on Tuesday, decided to fuck off on me. And I'm like, you know what? I am too tired of this bullshit. I am gonna figure this out tomorrow. All right, we got just a few more stories. We got 5 tabs left. We'll get into them real quickly over here. First one comes off of just what we were kind of talking about. Xbox Studio Compulsion Games invites partners to collaborate with it after going independent. This comes from Chris Scullion, who I actually had a fight with on Twitter, which was funny.
Cool.
No, it was not cool. I was upset. I was like, what the hell? All the guy did was bitch about how he hates YouTubers. And then when I said, okay, I kind of agree with you, but what about all the problems in game media that made these YouTubers popular, including how a bunch of these games journalists are now YouTubers? What do you have to say about that? And then he blocked me and said, no, you're just being bad faith. I'm like, all right, well, you're probably right. All right, so let's come over here to says, earlier this month, Xbox announced plans to cut thousands of jobs as part of the CEO Asha Sharma's call to the most significant restructuring in Xbox history. Compulsion Games was acquired in Xbox in 2018, was one of the studios affected by this major reset, but rather than being shut down entirely, the studio instead successfully negotiated a deal to leave Xbox and return to being an independent developer. Bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Just winning awards from bullshit companies and everything else like that. With deep experience in creating acclaimed original IP, we bring our artistry, technical expertise, and collaborative approach to every project. We are excited to support the development of memorable experiences that engage in entertainment around the world. Last week, Compulsion acknowledged Xbox for agreeing to deal to let them go independent. So basically, it's fucking just a bunch of words. All right, I'm going to just say it right now. It's just a bunch of fucking words to fill up an article to basically say, look, they're looking to have people collaborate with them. That's what I'm just going to leave it at. To basically come to my point here, I think that's a bad sign for Compulsion that they desperately need money. Mm-hmm. And they were lucky to get out of a deal with Microsoft, even though they're still getting funding from Microsoft, because I know them and Double Fine did get runway money to make their new game, but it sounds like it's not enough for Compulsion for their next new game. Mm. That's the long and short of it,
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that?
No, I'm good.
All right. And speaking of layoffs, we got actually more layoff news. And this comes from a Game File. Steve Totillo, former Kotaku reporter, now doing his own kind of thing. ZeniMax Online Studios leadership to exit as part of Xbox cuts. A newly disclosed rundown of 379 gaming roles eliminated in Maryland last week listed some surprising senior job titles. All right. There are many major changes happening atop of Maryland-based ZeniMax Online Studios, developer of the Elder Scrolls Online game. Online GameFile has learned. Joe Burba, a 14-year veteran of the studio who was appointed to run it last year, is departing along with ESO executive producer Susan Kath, studio game director Rich Lambert, and production director, Al Diaz.
I think your mic cut out again. I'll continue reading it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay.
Out again, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sure, yeah. Their roles were listed among hundreds of other cuts last week from the Maryland offices of ZeniMax in a warn letter, all capitalized. What's a warn letter? Am I missing something there? Or is it just in a warn letter sent to the state by ZeniMax and obtained today by GameFile tonight? Burbam, Kath, Lambert, and Diaz notified ZeniMax Online Studios workers of plans to transition to new leadership team consisting of promoted ZOS veterans. That transition will occur over the next few months. They told workers, according to the copy of the notice reviewed by GameFile, we will remain in place during transition period to help ensure a smooth handoff. Last week, Microsoft laid off 1,600 workers across its vast gaming teams in locations around the U.S. and abroad. Just who has been impacted and how hard various studios have been hit has been emerging day by day. GameFiles reported last week that Microsoft's ZeniMax notified officials in Maryland that 379 gaming jobs were being cut across the state. What do they have like data on like what types of jobs are being cut? Like, is it dev jobs? Is it like middle management, or is it? Do we know that?
Excuse me. So they did announce that they had like 14 layers of management in Ashish Sharma's layoff announcement last week.
14 layers of management.
Yeah, up to 14 layers of management. So it from everything that we're learning about these studios, because we're going to talk about id as well. Id cut 44 remote contractor work as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is like management. A lot of it is like coders, engine support, stuff like that. They've basically been cutting people that feel like they're kind of redundant. Because the question always comes back to is like what we saw with when Elon bought Twitter and fired everyone. How many people do you need to run a studio?
Yeah.
And I think Microsoft is going to learn, is trying to figure out that very question is like, how many people do we need to work and run these like companies and everything else out here? We don't really need to read too much more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am recalling a conversation I had with one of my project manager, and he's saying that when companies start to really feel the squeeze and they're not making as much and they need to make cuts, it is, and this kind of goes against what I said earlier, but middle management, I think he said middle management they tend to be the first ones to get fired, because it's like it just puts more workload on. They like separate the workload. If the middle manager is closer to the devs, the lower tier puts more on them, and if it's closer to the higher tier, puts more on the higher ups. But if they've got 14 layers of management, it's like makes sense that they would be the first ones to go.
Yeah, and then here's a small list of type of people that are affected by the job: software staff, technical art director, studio operations director, studio head, UI engineer, visual effects artist, vice president of control, visual personnel designer, vice president of global sales and business development. So it does feel like a lot of it is like a mixture of management and a mixture of just people who kind of work there. And then it's goes into more detail about it with people who might get laid off and everything else like that. It does feel like Microsoft went through their Xbox first-party developers, then they went to ZeniMax as a proper studio and publisher, and it feels like the next step is the following layoffs who are probably going to come next are from ABK proper. So we'll probably see layoffs at Blizzard, all the Activision studios across the board and stuff like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
No. But it had to happen. Microsoft in itself is very bloated, and I'm sorry if you lost your job. I'm not heartless, but at the same time, I am a realist.
Yeah.
And I feel for you guys, but we're going to talk about that a little bit more, because there's been a lot of people online that keep saying that like id Software is dead and they kind of had to address this. So you can hear it from the horse's mouth, as they would say right here.
For starts, I'm not saying anything new. Yeah. Our team, there's been reports that like we've been, nerfed into the ground and gutted, and we have 50 people, and that's not true. We're the size we were when we made Doom 2016, and id Tech is very much alive and well. You have to understand, we have id Tech engineers both in Frankfurt and at Machine Games. We collaborate quite a bit, so the id Tech is there, the Doom team is here, and we're excited to work on, to share with you guys more of what we're working on in the future when it is appropriate and approved. But for starts,
So I do feel like there's been a lot of pushback from a few of these studios. Like, depending on who you listen to, the laid off devs are, woe is me, everything's bad, don't go work here. And then the people who are left at these studios are like, we're not dead. Like, we can still make games. We still believe in ourselves. I do feel like it kind of comes back to we were talking about earlier. How many people do you need to actually run a studio? How many people do you need to make a game? And it comes down to just this argument that I've just seen some people where they just kind of think these devs are all, they should just have a job. They're all useless. They're all incompetent. They can't do anything at all unless they have a person who's been there forever. And I feel like when I read some of the stuff from these journalists, I'm like, you guys really are selling these devs short when you're trying to stand up for them,
Yeah.
And that's my big issue. It's look, either these devs are worth their salt and they're all the greatest devs in the world, like you make them out to be, so then they should be able to make a new game. They should have the cojones to get their fucking shit together and be able to produce and make a solid video game.
Yep.
Either that or they all need to be fired. if you're telling me that these people can't function and do their basic job and come up with a good game idea, even an idea, they can't come up with a good idea, that none of them there know what they're doing at all, then why are they even there? Why do they still have a paycheck, and why are they still open? The one thing is look, I'm pro worker. I'm pro you need to take advantage of every situation you can and do the best and try to put out the best work you can, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what you do and not what everyone else around you does.
Yeah.
It
sort of reminds me of I'm forgetting his name. He was one of the creators of Fallout, and he has a channel.
Kane.
Yeah, he had that video on. It was one of the first one of his that really went viral. He talked about differences of develop a game now and develop a game then, and just the attitude of developers, and how he wanted a basic piece of code, a temp code, to be put in for enemy aggro assignment, and he wrote it out in pseudocode and was just put that in there. You can do it in 5 minutes or an hour or something. And the dev who was going to be assigned it wanted 2 weeks to do it, and he just it didn't understand, something was not computing, and eventually they settled on 1 week or something, and that was one issue. Then there was the other issue about how all the dev team members didn't want, he would say, back in the day, you'd walk in on the studio and you'd have a whiteboard and there'd be different tasks and your name was written to the task that you were assigned. And he wanted to do something like that, but everyone agreed that they would quit their job if their name was up on a whiteboard assigned to a specific task. And I only bring that up just to say that, it just reminded me of there's differences in professionalism and expectations of what we expect out of professionals, whether in the game industry or in other industries as well. And it seemed, like you said, you got to be able to get your stuff together and make a good game and be able to do that. Otherwise, you get fired.
Especially with how much competition that's been going on right now.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, there's just so much competition that if you work for a AAA, company, you should just be focused on just working on anything you can. Because, Pal World is coming out there to just take your job that was made by a small team for a smaller budget. You got to compete with that.
None of them knew how to code either.
Yeah, well, it comes back to what you're saying. Tim Kaine, I think, is the person you're talking about. I think his name. He's actually working at Obsidian now.
Oh, okay.
He actually got rehired to kind of go into our next segue over here.
All those devs need to be fired. Sorry, Dirty Neo.
No, but like I said, it's. We'll go back to this too because there's something funny over here.
The Matt Black studio is a studio of one. So
yeah, and that's what I mean. The game industry right now has been made so dev friendly that even if you're just a dude, you could go out there and you could have your dream done and you can make a game now.
Yep.
And this comes up to the next one.
Notes from Bethesda. Oh, you cut out again.
Yeah, I did. Fucking Mike.
All right, I hear you now. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so basically, this comes to today's news. Sorry, a note from Bethesda Game Studios. So here we go. A note from Bethesda Game Studios. We love making these worlds as much as you love playing in them. Today, we want to share share what's next for Bethesda Game Studios and what you can expect from us in years ahead. For 40 years, we've built games that have entertained almost 500 million players. More than just games, these are worlds for you to explore, shape, and make your own worlds we return to together. That's what's driving us forward. We're investing more deeply in the worlds players love, giving creators a bigger role in shaping their experiences and bringing our teams closer together so we can get our games in your hands sooner, support them longer, and continue building them alongside you for decades to come. So first up, some information about Starfield. Starfield continues with over 17 million players logging almost 1 billion hours to date. Starfield remains as an important part of our future. As we enter year 3, we'll continue expanding the settlement system. We have new stories, targeted gameplay improvements, and additional updates. While preparing for the launch of new Starborn content next year, more than 40% of our players already customized their experiences through creations, and will continue investing in creators and giving players new ways to make their own. So that's some news right there. 17 million people have played Starfield. Currently, right now, there's been a joke going on online that there's more people playing Starfield than they are playing Marathon. So if you want to hate on Marathon, there you go. You got a new ammo to attack them with. But I would not say Starfield was a flop if it's got 17 million people that have logged a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
And they still are doing content, so they're not giving up on this one. I think that's admirable. I beat Starfield. I thought it had a really cool concept, but I feel like the game to get to that concept was not that great.
Yeah, I haven't played Starfield. I followed it in the news and whatnot, and I didn't know it was still going. But yeah, maybe it has a story similar to No Man's Sky, or Cyberpunk 2077. They just kept working at it, and maybe it's a good game now. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, I haven't replayed it in a while, so I couldn't tell you. Isn't Starfield's number inflated by Game Pass? Yes and no. It sold pretty decently on PlayStation as well, and it sold really well on Steam. So I don't think it was necessarily super inflated. I think it did have some really good numbers.
I do think, these live service games that, it's very clearly these games are supposed to last probably for almost a decade. Like they probably have a decade worth of content that they can keep putting out. I almost wonder if that's a mistake. It's kind of like when a TV show goes on and on for 20 seasons, and by the end, it's kind of like, well, they've run out of ideas and they're just doing it for the money now, and it's not as good as it once was, and then it just kind of fizzles out. Whereas, you get games that they're meant to be played for a specific amount of time, with the knowledge that eventually people will stop playing them, and that's kind of it,
So here's my thing: Starfield is very different from, say, Skyrim or Fallout. And what I mean by that is that Starfield is supposed to be played as an infinite loop type of game. Okay. And what I mean by that is when you beat Starfield, you're supposed to basically restart the game. But when you restart the game, it takes place in a new dimension. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's kind of a cool idea.
So it's basically an infinite loop kind of game where you're supposed to beat the game to find out what the next universe is going to be like. There's been some fun stuff. Spoiler alert for Starfield, it's a multiverse game. Oh. So every time you're fighting the big bad, you're fighting a version of your own character. and other characters
Oh.
in your own universe. Like the basic concept of Starfield is like you're supposed to get in like the ultimate power, and you're supposed to keep increasing and growing your power. And you're supposed to keep doing that through many different multiverses. And like each multiverse is sort of different. So like one multiverse, like all the characters are kids. In another multiverse, some of the characters are plants. You know, like that's what people have found. So Starfield is supposed to constantly be like an infinite loop kind of game.
Interesting.
And it's got an interesting concept. The problem is that it has a lot of issues. And I like it. I said Starfield was a good game, but it's not it's not Skyrim to me. Skyrim is like their peak. I always use this example. It's like your favorite band. Everyone knows what their best album is, and then everyone goes like, yeah, their newer albums are okay. It's not the best, you know?
Yeah.
So the problem with like Starfield is that even though the combat's good, because they had id Tech really improve the gunplay and stuff, which I think is great. The problem is that it's kind of boring to get to that loop. It's too spaced out. There's too much planets. Like you could tell that they thought through a lot of this game with modders in mind to give them more freedom. But the problem is that they overthought it and they made some stuff bad. And you could tell that some of the ideas that they pushed through, they overthought it. Like they didn't have vehicle transport to go check out some of these areas. That was added later. And they just don't have really cool costume designs. They really leaned into the NASA punk way too hard to where it's like every costume you pick up or armor in that, it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. I'm just being honest. I bought the collector's edition. I think the game's good, but it has issues.
Well, I mean, what you said about leaning into the modders too, I've been thinking about that too, and this is the first time I've heard someone put it into words where it's, you know, it's like, why? I imagine in these studios, they think to themselves, you know, should we do this or do that function? And they probably exit because of time or money, and they just say to themselves, the modders will fix it. The modders will add it. You know,
I think a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. I don't think they think the modders will fix it. I think that they've also been kind of co-opted by modder communities because it's like, oh, well, they give us unlimited free time to do stuff in this universe. You know, it's one of those things where it's like you rely too much on a community to keep a game alive, and then it just also like you over cater to them, and you kind of forgot that you have to do some more stuff. You know?
Yeah.
And then the Matt Black Studio says over here, was Mario Kart 8 Nintendo Skyrim? That's a good question. What is Nintendo?
That's a good question. They milked that game for all it's worth.
But I think they also did that with Breath of the Wild as well, because they did release that on the Wii U, then the Switch, and then Switch 2 updates. And
well, the Wii U, I think because the Wii U didn't sell very much, they had a pretty good opportunity to kind of make the best out of a bad situation. They released a lot of Wii U exclusives again on the Switch, a system that actually sold well. And so it's like, why not do that? Like, was it the Super Mario Brothers Wii U? I'm pretty sure it sold much better on the Switch than it did on the Wii U because no one had a Wii U.
Yeah.
You know? So it was, I think for Nintendo, it was kind of making a best out of a bad situation. Breath of the Wild, I kind of see like, that's an example of a game where they're like, here's a game everybody loves, here's a DLC, okay, we're done. And then they released Tears of the Kingdom.
I just think that
no DLC.
I think Nintendo milks a lot of their properties.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Mario Kart 8, just what was brought up. That game had a 10-year lifespan.
It's got more than it just feels like it's insane.
More than 10 years. Yeah,
it's crazy. Omni says, had a friend who do that and got all the hybrid powers available in the multiverse. I think it took him around 20 extra hours or so. He ran out of content after that and just walked away. I think if it wasn't for the shipbuilding, he would have tried to refund the game. Very undercooked. Funny enough, No Man's Sky apparently took the shipbuilding concept and ran with it and for future updates. Yeah, they did. And No Man's Sky is like, I think another thing too is because No Man's Sky exists. I remember when Starfield was coming out, a lot of people kept saying like, "Oh, this is going to be like No Man's Sky, but Bethesda." And I guess it kind of is becoming No Man's Sky, but Bethesda in a weird fucking sense of the way. So maybe it'll make a comeback. Who knows? I don't want them to give up on this IP. It's a cool idea, but I think so. I hope the team that's working on it is dedicated to making it better. But I hope other things come out. Obviously, we believed from the beginning that our worlds belong to not only the people who make them, but also to the players who play them. That's why we've long provided players with tools to create their own experiences, dating back to Morrowind construction set. This year, we marked another major milestone for creations with this expansion to Fallout 4, joining Skyrim and Starfield. We're proud to say creators have already earned more than 10 million in royalties from their work, so that's good.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people hate the term paid mods, but if it helps people get paid and they help, do stuff and get a head start into game development, I think that helps.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the big news. The future of Fallout. Fallout is one of our biggest priorities today. Fallout 5 remains our long-range destination, and we have multiple...
Cut out again. We have multiple Fallout projects in active development right now. Fallout 76 continues to be home of millions of players exploring Appalachia together. With millions of players. With nearly 70 free updates released to date, the journey is far from over. In fact, we have a major Fallout 76 expansion planned for next year. Raven Rock, a prequel story to Fallout 3.
So
Fallout 4...
that's big news right there, by the way. So I looked into it. My Fallout 76, I think they said has roughly close to 11 million players.
Wow.
And I know that they have like a healthy resurgence as well. And I know that they've been doing a lot of updates, like they said, really trying to tie it into the Fallout universe. But yeah, Raven's Rock, a prequel to Fallout 3, that sounds very interesting, to say the least. I'm kind of curious.
Fallout has that like post-apocalyptic niche. Like if you ask an average gamer of like, what's a popular popular post-nuclear apocalypse game, they're going to say Fallout. So it makes sense if you really love that genre and you in that setting, you're going to go to Fallout,
Yeah. I think I might know what might be wrong with my computer. Let me just unplug this over here. Well, I have a disc drive plugged in that I've been using to like download CDs.
A disc drive, that's ancient technology, man.
Yeah, so that's also been causing an issue because I looked that up as possibly a problem. I just remembered I had it plugged in still. 11 million players or sales? I would say both. Fallout 76 was given away for free. I know a lot of people bought it. It's been on sale a lot of times. You can redeem codes. So it's not just Game Pass, but it has a dedicated audience, to say the least there.
I just remembered I have Fallout 4. I bought it a long time ago and never played it.
Yeah.
I should probably do that.
Fallout 4, the most award-winning game in our franchise, just celebrated its 10th anniversary and recently passed over 35 million copies sold, continuing to attract a new audience every year. So that's a fucking milestone right there. 35 million copies sold. That's a hell of a sale. And we got Mr. Angry Canadian joining us. Yo, buddy, what's up? I hope you're having a good day. I watched your stream earlier. So yeah,
only 37 gigs to download and install.
Yeah, I like Fallout 4. I know it wasn't the best received game amongst the Fallout fans because the dialogue options were pretty loopy, but I did enjoy my time with Fallout 4. Yeah, I have 76 and didn't even know it. Yeah, like I said, it was given away. Fallout 76 was given away. Like I think it was an actual Game Pass perk as well, or they gave it away as an anniversary. So
I went to my Steam library, typed in Fallout, and then I also saw Fallout New Vegas just below it. And I'm like, I kind of want to play Fallout New Vegas instead. That game, incredible.
Yeah, but just to kind of be sure, I'm going to say this. You got to stop trying to like Game Pass everything and just kind of just except that it's not just Game Pass. It's on PC, it's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox. Even if it's on Game Pass, it doesn't matter. It's still 11 million players that have tried out the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, at the end of the day, even if, like, yes, it's going to be inflated. I've already said why it's going to be inflated. They gave the game away for free. It's been part of Game Pass. It's been on super deep sales. But, you know, just the active player base for it, I don't know. And even Steam data is just part of the thing. We don't know how many people are active on it on Xbox and PlayStation, and you're just looking at it on Steam. So, like, that's just where I'm just going to say it like that. You know, let's just not worry about all this fucking Game Pass nonsense, because I think it's just not really helpful to the conversation overall. Like, we could talk about it, but yes, let's acknowledge it, but it's also on everything. So let's just take the Game Pass part of it out when we talk about it. All right? Just going forward. We also know many players want to revisit previous Fallout experiences. While we're not announcing any dates today, we have been working on remasters for both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Well, that stuff has been kind of like rumored for a long time now. People said that they were going to announce the remasters at actually the Xbox event, but they, I guess, held off on it. They also said the same studio that's been doing the Oblivion remasters and remakes, they said that they're working on those as well. Are you happy to hear about those remakes that we've been kind of mentioned earlier? Are you excited about them? Are you a Fallout fan by any chance?
I mean, I played Fallout 3 in New Vegas, so yeah. I mean, if the price is right and I have the time, I'll give them a shot. I do know that they are. This kind of goes back to our conversation on patience. It's like, I know that these are big time commitments. You know, some of these games you're going to sink at least 60 hours into them. Whereas if I pick up a Resident Evil game, I can do a nice clean run through it.
Crank it out in 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah, it's a commitment, and I'm not totally against that. I mean, I'm playing Pal World.
Right.
Right now, but who knows how long that's going to go.
Listen, I'm playing Dragon's Dogma and Assassin's Creed, Black Flag at the same time. Mm-hmm. Those are time sinks.
Yeah, and like I sometimes I carve out time to just game with not on streaming, but for the most part, my streaming is my game time. So, it's hard to do it, but I am interested in those. I did like Oblivion. That was my first exposure to an open world game way back in the day, and it like completely blew my mind. I loved it.
Yeah.
So I haven't played the remaster yet. Haven't played Skyrim. Been meaning to, just never got around to it. But yeah.
So as we continue here, Fallout Shelter continues to be the most popular way to experience Fallout on the go. With more than 250 million players, that's fucking insane. But it's a mobile game, so it tracks. There's
Fallout Shelter, yeah.
I like the Fallout Shelter. Did you ever play it?
I did. I tried it. Kind of got bored with it. Like a lot of free mobile games. Once you hit that paywall, it kind of like unless you really like it, you're not going to really stick with it. But it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was an enjoyable mobile game. Not gonna lie, I played it a lot on PlayStation and Xbox. I actually did enjoy that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's still 250 million players. Even if it's a free-to-play game, it's still impressive.
Yep.
Because that, like I said, it's just people still went and downloaded it, There's more ahead for Fallout Shelter, including a new seasons. An unscripted Fallout Shelter television project is also in the works with our partners at Amazon Studios and Clement Films. An unscripted Fallout Shelter TV show. So it's like going to be like one of those wacky like Wipeout. Like they're going to do tests and stuff. Like, oh, you guys have to get to like the irradiated bottles of water or something like that.
Interesting.
Like that. That's what my guess is. I guess it's going to be like a game show, to be honest with you.
I enjoyed the first Fallout, the season of the first Fallout show, but not enough to come back for the second. I haven't watched it yet.
Well, this is a different show they're talking about.
Oh, well, I mean, you know.
Like, I don't know. It feels like it's going to be like Fear Factor. You know, it'd be funny. It's like a Fallout Survivor. So they just like drop a bunch of people in, or it's like Big Brother, but in the vault. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I'll say it. I don't know. You know,
that would be fitting with the vaults.
Yes, it's a social experiment.
Yeah.
We'll see. I want to say this is curious. We'll see how it goes on. We'd like to congratulate Kilbit Films and Amazon Studios on the 10 Emmy nominations for Fallout Season 2. Production of Season 3 is already underway. And while we won't host a traditional Fallout Day broadcast this year, we are already planning something special for Fallout's 30th anniversary next year when Fallout Day will be celebrated live in Washington, D.C. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think I want to go check that out. That's pretty cool. I like Fallout, the TV show, but I did not fully watch Season 2. I can understand. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I haven't seen Season 2 to talk about it, and it seems like you haven't either.
Yeah. I thought the plot made no sense to Season 1, but I liked the world that they built. I liked the characters. It felt very Fallout. It had the kind of goofy, serious but not seriousness to it. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It's a fun show.
Fun fact: the lady who plays the main character in Fallout and the Fallout show is the voice of Jinx in Arcana. I did not know that. I think she's cute. My wife's in the other room.
She was a good protagonist for the show. She's kind of a naive vault person. It was fun.
She did a great job at playing a vault dweller.
Yes, and Walton Goggins.
Oh, Walton Goggins is great.
Carried
as
it.
Ghoul.
He was awesome as the Ghoul.
I guess they got Breaking Bad. The Jesse. I guess he's going to be in Season 3. They announced.
Oh, really? Not Bill Pullman. Paul something.
I forget his name. Yeah. But I guess that was just announced. I don't know. I got to make time to watch Fallout Season 2 because I heard that they did, depending on who you talk to, did a good job with the New Vegas stuff or a bad job. And I need to know. I got to decide for myself because I can't.
Right. Do I waste time with this or not?
There's like two people yelling at me. I don't know who's right. Mom and Dad, stop fighting. Studio collaboration. The Wasteland continues to expand as we team up once again with our longtime friends at Obsidian Entertainment. We're happy to confirm that they're working with us on a new Fallout project. We'll have more to share in the future. We also bring our teams closer together across Bethesda. ZeniMax Online Studios will partner closely with Bethesda Game Studios on the Elder Scrolls franchise while continuing to deliver incredible new experiences from the Elder Scrolls Online Season 1. Return of the Thieves Guild recently launched, and the team has more planned for the future. By aligning more directly across the franchises, we can create a better experience for players. Bringing our teams closer together is helping us build a stronger foundation for everyone to create. So, Aaron Paul, there you go. That's it.
Aaron Paul, yeah.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Neo. My wife was not here to answer my question, so thank you for playing woman. All right. That sounds pretty cool. Like I said, Tim Kaine, I believe, was hired by Obsidian to help make this new Fallout project or something like that. So he was brought back into the fold. So I'm curious to see how what they're working on over there. I know Josh Sawyer is going to be the lead writer, and Josh Sawyer was, I think, the lead writer for Fallout New Vegas as well. So very curious to see what they have planned. I know there's been conflicting reports that Obsidian doesn't want to make a Fallout game, but it sounds like they've been wanting to make a Fallout game since they were bought by Microsoft. At least as late as 2002, I heard that they pitched ideas to make a Fallout game. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I heard internet gossip that Bethesda was upset that everyone's favorite Fallout game is Fallout New Vegas.
And in the words of the great Dave Chappelle, because fuck them. That's why. So I'm curious to see what this. So it sounds like ZeniMax Online was kind of recently gutted a little bit. but maybe I guess they're being brought in more to help support studio into Elder Scrolls 6 as well. So maybe that means that they're really trying to hammer this out and probably get it out by next year or two. We'll find out. The Elder Scrolls and beyond, the foundation extends beyond our teams to the technology, tools, and systems that we power the next generation of Bethesda RPGs. Our teams are now developing the Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 on Creation Engine 3.0, a shared technology platform we've been building since Starfield's launch. It allows our teams to support multiple projects simultaneously with new tools, rendering, and systems that define our games. Fallout 5 is currently in pre-production. The Elder Scrolls 6 is our primary development focus today, with a majority of our team currently working on the next chapter of the franchise. With over 65 million copies sold, players are still exploring Skyrim 15 years later, but we know it's been a very long wait for the sequel. The next chapter is on the way. We're planning shit.
That's we are where we plan to be. That's what they should have written.
Yes. What the fuck is this shit?
Who wrote this?
The intern, the one that isn't getting paid. 65 million copies for Skyrim. That's insane.
Yeah.
I love Skyrim. I am that sucker that will buy. I'm still waiting for it to go on sale to buy it on Switch 2 so I can play Skyrim on Switch 2.
Maybe when I finally get a Switch 2, I'll play it for the first time.
I love Skyrim. It's one of my favorite video games of all time. I know it's a hot take for a lot of people.
Hey, no, I hear you. I'll probably love it too.
The road ahead. Across Bethesda Game Studios, we're building for the future of Fallout, the Elder Scrolls, and Starfield. We're investing in our technology, bringing teams closer together, supporting our live service, expanding into new frontier forms of entertainment, and developing the next generation of Bethesda RPGs. We couldn't be more excited for what's ahead and wanted to share as much as we could today. We can't thank you enough for all you've given us and those worlds, and we can't wait to continue with them together. So, one thing that we kind of learned today, too, Creation Engine 3 is going to be a real thing. So, they aren't going to be moving to Unreal Engine 5. It's kind of adding that point home again. I know that I think we talked about this when we had you on, when we first talked about the Xbox potential layoffs before they happen.
Mm-hmm.
And how the directive does feel like there is a company-wide push by Microsoft to move everyone over to Unreal Engine, it feels like. And the new Halo game is going to be an Unreal Engine. A lot of the games that were released were Unreal Engine, but it does sound like Bethesda is going to move forward and continue with id Tech, and they're going to definitely be investing again in Creation Engine 3. Because I think I think they said Starfield was Creation Engine 2, and that still had issues. So it definitely does feel like maybe the reason why Elder Scrolls 6 kind of is taking a long time is they really have been working on this engine. So we'll see how it does. Like I said before, Josh Sawyer had an interview talking about how he likes Creation Engine. Modders really love Creation Engine because it helps give them, a lot of assets to work with and play with and do a bunch of stuff with.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how Creation Engine 3 is going to work, because the biggest problem with the engine, load times, that was like a big issue for Starfield, was just walking into a place and, having issues, say, for example, with just a load screen taking a while. There's a lot of stuff that renders and has to load, because the one thing about Creation Engine is like you could touch everything inside of a place, and it saves all that data in certain places. Like there was the infamous Starfield meme where people just had like a potato room and they would put like nothing but potatoes in there, to the point where there was like thousands of potatoes that they would just steal and throw into this room. All right. And you don't think about it, but that's very taxing on an engine to have, pick up a potato that was originally spawned like thousands of miles away to bring them all the way back and put them individually.
Saves all that data.
So it's an interesting engine that I think like lay people like me don't respect enough just from the dev standpoint. But there is a lot of people who really do enjoy that engine from that perspective of like there's a lot of work that goes in there, and it's probably like the best that what we got. And it does create a lot of bugs and a lot of glitches because it's a lot of moving parts going at once. It's also kind of why I think a lot of gamers, are kind of getting tired of open world stuff because it's too much. It's too taxing.
Yeah.
But like I said, layperson could be talking out my ass.
Well, I imagine too, it's a QA nightmare to test these things because there's so many, so many different glitches that could possibly happen, so many edge cases. I think the idea to push all their teams to Creation Engine 3 is to make it so that everyone gets better at it, so that all the QA developers, they know how it works, they can better test it, speed up production time. Just and optimization. Like I've complained about optimization of games. Like I feel like there's no reason games should be 100 gigs. They can make them smaller.
Doom the Dark Ages was over 100 gigs.
Really?
Yes, and that was before the DLC.
Wow. What did they do to it?
That's what I'm saying. It's just it just feels like you said there's too much bloat, there's too much issues, and I had like even with some of the smaller games like Dash Attack that just came out recently, or Dench Attack, even that game I was breaking that game a lot yesterday because it's a very acrobatic kind of like rhythm, you gotta get your timing down kind of game. And I'm just like accidentally pressing a button and I'm flying off the map into oblivion and just like spinning and dashing, and I'm like, well, that's more me. I don't think the devs were prepared for a person that basically has got like the hand coordination of somebody with like cerebral palsy playing this game and breaking it. But generally speaking, like it does happen even with the smallest and biggest of devs. And I don't know. I like when glitches happen as long as they don't happen all the time and break down and fuck up the game,
Yeah. I mean, we like again in software development too, there's glitches that happen that are just like we'll fix them. And then there's glitches that happen where it's like we have to fix this right now. And I think games, as they get bigger, they just really focus on those that fix the right now glitches. And you can tell when games are released and they haven't done proper QA. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 was one that was unfinished. That I never dove into why that was or what happened with it, but I imagine it was just mismanagement. But yeah, games are complex these days. But that doesn't mean people can't complain about poor quality games. If you're going to make a complex game, you better do the work to make sure that it runs, up to par. It's like people are willing to overlook small flaws, but if you have enough small flaws in a game, then a game people don't like it. It's just how it works.
No, you're not wrong. Like, yeah, I never have a problem with like somebody complaining about a game that has actual issues. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last story kind of want to cover. Like I said, big announcements for the weekend, future roadmap for all Bethesda studios, a lot of stuff coming out there, a lot of devs telling you, hey, we're not dead, we're just rebuilding. So and I think that'll kind of be a good way to kind of end the show out there. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you, Mr. J Bongo, for stopping by too, for joining us about this.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your level-headedness, like your insight, and I hope you learned a lot today for sure.
I did. Got me caught up. I did not pay attention to like social media at all when I was on vacation, and then coming back, it was daunting to try to catch up on news and things like that. So helps me out here.
Yeah, but if anyone, if you're new here, thank you for joining us and stopping by. Like I say, I always ask you kindly if you could leave a like and a comment, and if you like what you heard and want to check me out more, please feel free to subscribe. Appreciate that very much. And every link to the stories is in the description of this video, so if you want to go read them on your own, have your own thoughts and opinions, we'd like to hear it because, like I said, this channel, everyone's welcome to have an opinion because I'm not always right about everything. And
me too. As many people comment on my shorts, let me know.
Yeah, but let's go through a few comments where we kind of messed up, passed by because there was a lot to read. Oni says, "Oh yeah, forgot about the loading times. There was a meme a few years ago. If your game was made by Bethesda, yep, that was a big thing." Pal World has one hilarious. Pal World, the Pal World one was hilarious. Going into a house, loading screen, open your inventory, loading screen, travel, loading screen. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, yeah,
but
no,
yes.
there was a video if Pal World was made by Bethesda.
Yeah, I know what that he was saying. I got that, but I was like, it wasn't that bad in Starfield. But yes, there was issues there too. Indeed, Helldivers 2 was over 150 gigs at release, and they later was optimized. It was down to 25. Yeah, I remember that. That was a really good thing.
That's crazy.
Doom 2016 ballooned up to 120 gigs with all the updates. Then they reworked the game and brought it back down to 60 gigs. I did not know Doom 2016 had a huge issue like that too. That's news. Cyberpunk was an interesting case. I have nightmare. I don't like Cyberpunk. I need to get back and try it again. I just thought it was boring. They hired a QA studio to do the work, but the studio fired nearly all the vets and created new rules where you were expected to find a set number of bugs rather than impactful ones. Oh, that's not good. It's like going to a live show. Sometimes the tiny flaws and changes are what makes it special. But if they come out drunk and as skunks and can't play, no bueno. No, that's true. That is very true.
Yes. There's a certain imperfection that makes it human. And the connection there.
Yeah,
but if it goes too far.
Like I say, I don't mind a bug every now and then. You know what I mean? It's just like, look, you're running through the world and all of a sudden you see a bear spawn and fall and kill itself from the sky. You look at that, you laugh, you go, what the fuck? And you just go like, all right, that was weird. And you keep going on. And that did happen to me in Skyrim, where a mammoth literally spawned from the sky. And I'm like, what is going on here? Fell and died. And or sometimes, like, this happened to me once in Skyrim. I'm just walking along and all of a sudden I get a dragon soul. And I'm just like, why am I getting a dragon soul? If you know what Skyrim is, you know what Skyrim is. Like, and I'm just like, I guess someone killed a dragon somewhere in this game universe that I'm not by at this point. like some of that stuff is fun, but then there's games like Cyberpunk where the game just doesn't work and crashes, and there's a lot of Russian memes where it's just like, my favorite, like, speaking of memes, my favorite thing was like people finding like random Russian like nomads just like living off the land, and they're like Cyberpunk 2077 for every one of them. Like those are funny. Well, you were gonna say something, I think.
I was gonna say, I remember reading a story somewhere where the basis for the attack combo system in Street Fighter 2 was not planned. It was like a glitch. The way that you could chain moves together in Street Fighter 2, the way they programmed it wasn't intentional. It just happened that way. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look into that for a future show.
Yeah, it says, I mean, according to the internet, it says the combo system for Street Fighter 2 originated as an unintended programming glitch. During development, Capcom designers loosened the input timing for special moves to make them easier to execute, which accidentally allowed players to cancel the recovery frames of normal attacks into special moves.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
There's always a fun little tidbit, like Capcom. Like, I think Hideki Kamiya has been on record saying that Leon was intended to be a loser, and he was basing it off of himself being at a low point in his life or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the combo system was not intentional. We're hearing a bunch of that. That's
Yeah.
true. Street Fighter combos were an accident. Well, there you go. Happy accidents. It's the Bob Ross approach. All right, we're getting close to 3 hours, so I'm gonna start winding the show down. Thank you again once for coming back on, Jay. Really appreciate it. Hoping to have you on in the future. Could you tell people what you got planned and where they can find you, so on and so forth?
Yeah, you can. Everyone can find me at. I always forget my channel name. J Bongo Gamer. Yeah, at J Bongo Gamer. All one word. On YouTube. I'm also on X and Rumble and Instagram, but just do YouTube. It's fine. I have two channels. One's where I do my live streams, and others where I post all the shorts for said live streams. But I primarily stream usually 5 days a week at 4:45 a.m. So if you're up early, you need something to listen to or watch while you sip your morning coffee, definitely join in. We got a few regulars. Eamon's usually there. Telling me how to do stuff. We have a good time. It's fun early morning. Got a couple people who join in as well.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm finishing up Twilight Princess Dusklight, which is the PC mod. So if you're interested in all the PC, not the PC mod, the PC port of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So I like to play all the PC ports, and I'm playing Pal World as well. And I think once we're done with Twilight Princess, I'm going to do Pal World and Other M. I've never played it. I'm a big Metroid fan. So if you want to see the hilarity that will bring, definitely tune in next week. Yeah, that's what I got going on. And eventually maybe I'll do an interview show like you, and we'll have Matt the Black Studio on.
There you go. Well, like I said, Matt, if you ever want to come on and talk about your project, I'm more than willing to have anyone on. Just hit me up and we can work out something else. As for me, no show this weekend. Kind of taking these next Saturdays off to go hang out with my wife and enjoy the summer. But we'll be back next week. My Halo campaign Evolved Collector's Edition is coming in tomorrow. So awesome. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video for that. You can expect that coming out soon. We're also working on a PlayStation 3 what to buy guide and how to buy stuff on your PlayStation 3 and Vita stores. So those videos are in the work. Also, we are working on the script for the Hawaii Oahu Where to Shop for Retro Games. That's coming along very nicely. But that's kind of some updates for you on that front. I don't know. I'm just really chalked up right now. Sorry. But we'll be back next week. We'll be back next Wednesday with Mr. Nerdy Neo as well. And we're going to be doing a Mass Effect 1 retrospective show, talking about why Mass Effect 1 is really great for an episode of Nostalgia Saved, as well as episodes dedicated to the following. We're going to have a Thursday show dedicated to Legacy Loading, and it's going to be on Tim Schafer, the developer of Double Fine, from such games as Grim Fandango and so on and so forth like that. And next Friday, we'll be back, not with a new show, but with a article talking about the top 5, not top 5, the top 10 Pokemon of all time, as according to multiple different gaming outlets. And I'll be joined by Mr. Frankador's Gaming, a.k.a. IJP Mexican. So with that being said, everyone, have yourself a very wonderful weekend. If you're out in the Midwest, stay cool, or wherever you're at, stay cool. And just know
breathe fresh air if you can.
Yeah, exactly. And also just stay sexy. We love you guys.